The University of Pittsburgh has a rich football tradition, led by head coach Johnny Majors, who brought them a national title in 1976. The '95 Panthers, led by running back Billy West, last year's Big East Offensive Player of the Year, returns after a 3-game absence from a shoulder injury. This week's opponent, Virginia Tech, coming off an emotional win against Miami. Head coach Frank Beamer's Hokies with perhaps one of the biggest wins in school history. The key, the Virginia Tech defense, smothering Miami with 6 quarterback sacks and no second-half points. Coming up, Virginia Tech visits Pittsburgh. From Pitt Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's Big East Conference football. This afternoon, the Pittsburgh Panthers host the Virginia Tech Hokies. And good afternoon, everyone. Along with Dick McPherson, I'm Mike Breen. The Big East Conference race is wide open, courtesy of that Virginia Tech victory over Miami last week. Terrific performance by the offense, the running backs, Dwayne Thomas, Ken Oxendine, superlative efforts.
Take a look right there. Rushing 165 yards by Dwayne Thomas. Kenny Oxendine, 82 yards and only 9 carries. What a great 1-2 punch for Virginia Tech.
And Thomas, right from the first series, explosive, and had one of his best days as a Hokie. Meanwhile, the defense, also sensational. They put pressure on all day long.
Absolutely. I was so thrilled with Frank Beamer just challenging the Miami Hurricanes, going after them all the way. Look at this, 7 points. Miami to 51 yards rushing, 6 sacks. When has that ever happened to the Miami Hurricanes? Look at the gang tackle. Look at them come in on this thing. You can't get any better than that anywhere. Go after them.
Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, this is their conference opener. No better timing for the return of Billy West, their terrific running back. He's been out the last 3 games with a shoulder injury. They need him.
Well, they believe in him, both the coaches and the players. He's got to establish some of the run to take some of the pressure off John Ryan. John Ryan will get the ball down the field if they can mix up both the pass and the run.
Unfortunately for West and the Panthers, they have some injuries on the offensive line. Reggie Thomas, Tony Orlandini both suffered knee injuries last week. They're out, so he's got to reshuffle. Johnny Majors does.
Well, coach's nightmare to use 2 experienced offensive linemen against a rush like the Virginia Tech. If they can keep out and John Ryan can get rid of the football, it's going to help them a tremendous amount. It's something we've got to watch fast.
But while they lose some offensive linemen, they regain some people in the secondary. Denorce Mosley, their fine cornerback, returns after a 3-game absence.
You know, and they've had some problems back in the secondary. Denorce is going to handle all those. Chuck Dreisbach was telling me now they've got 2 legitimate corners. Now the safety can play 1 up to the run, 1 back, and it's going to help them tremendously defensively against the attack of Virginia Tech.
Kickoff minutes away, but first let's return to our Big East studios and John Sanders.
Thank you very much, Mike. We'll be here throughout the game to keep you up to date on Big East play, but also top 25 football around the country, and there is a lot to talk about on this final September day of college football 1995. And let's check out the schedule in the Big East, and it starts with, for the Eagles of Boston College, they must wonder what conference they're in. They'll take on their 3rd Big Ten opponent as they play Michigan State in East Lansing, looking for their 2nd win, trying to even their record. Syracuse and Rutgers, meantime, playing their conference opener. The game was originally scheduled at noon. It will be at Rutgers, and it will start at 6 o'clock. The schedule today also includes West Virginia and East Carolina. That is a noon start. We will have highlights of that one during the afternoon. And Temple, after playing 3 consecutive top 25 teams, looks for a win against MAC conference favorite Bowling Green as they play at home. They are yet to win in 1995. And when we come back to the studio, we will look around the Big East. More to come. Stay with us. Back right after this.
Gorgeous day in Pittsburgh here at Pitt Stadium as the Panthers with their Big East opener. Temperatures scheduled to go up near 80. Bright sun all day. Just a beautiful day for the fans to come in, and they're still filing in to Pitt Stadium as we're set to go. Frank Beamer certainly still happy after what happened last week. First victory ever over Miami. And a veteran, Johnny Majors, 28th season as a college head football coach. This is 7th season, 2nd tour of duty with the Pitt Panthers. And Pitt won the toss and will defer, get the ball in the 2nd half, so they will kick off to start us. Both meetings for Pittsburgh against Virginia Tech have not been pleasant. 2 blowout losses, and they certainly hope to reverse that today. Todd Barton, the specialist to kick off for the Pitt Panthers. Dwayne Thomas is the deep back for Virginia Tech. Also Danny Edwards and Marcus Parker back as well. And certainly the key, Dick McPherson, last week for Virginia Tech against Miami, they came out so strong and put the pressure on early. Frank Beamer, especially because this is their first road game of the year, wants a good start.
Well, I think he's got the ball on a great day. There's no wind, is not a factor, and beautiful, rejuvenated, refixed up Pitt Stadium. There is nothing that can stop either team from performing to the best of their ability except the other team. So I'm anxious to see how Dwayne gets this thing started.
Barton starts us off. Thomas fields at his own 5, and we're underway. Dwayne Thomas breaks some tackles already and finally brought down at about the 38-yard line. Barton had made the tackle himself, and an excellent 33-yard return for Dwayne Thomas, who, of course, will start in the backfield after last week's great performance. Druckenmiller, the junior quarterback.
Boy, the kicker had to be a real important person right away there.
Meanwhile, the offensive line, left guard Chris Malone starts his 39th consecutive game. Jim Druckenmiller, his first year as starter for Virginia Tech. Very effective last week. They had the great ground game, so as Dick mentioned, took a lot of pressure off him. Thomas and Edmonds here in the backfield. And Dwayne Thomas, the first call, and maybe a yard, nothing more. Quickly stopped by the Pitt defense. David Sumner in on the stop.
Interesting that's happening. They're trying to check off and look at the shift by the Pitt team.
So T.D. Moody, the leader of this very experienced defensive line for Pittsburgh. At linebacker, they have one of the best. Tom Tumulty, a Butkus Award candidate. And in the secondary, the return of Denorce Mosley helps a team or an area that has certainly struggled a little bit. 2nd down and 9. Druckenmiller in the shotgun. Little pump fake under fire. And he gets it away. Let's see if they call it an incomplete pass. He got it away just in time. Druckenmiller under pressure from Jared Miller.
I'm really surprised that they got away so efficiently on this thing. And when Jim throws the ball away like this, that's going to bode trouble for him later. He should take the sack and play from there.
He didn't face that kind of pressure that much last week against Miami. So a 3rd and 9 for Virginia Tech. Play action. Druckenmiller avoids one tackler. Looking for an open receiver. Fires downfield. He's got Bryan Still for the first down and more. At the 34-yard line of Pittsburgh. Mosley brings him down, but not before a big gain.
Tyler Young broke through there clean and had the big hit. He's certainly frustrated with himself because he had the quarterback cold on that play.
Still's their big play receiver.
Get an inside move with a rush from the outside there. It would put a lot of pressure on Jim. Again, he put the ball away. Big first down when they had a big sack there.
He's not known for his speed.
He was elusive that time, elusive enough. He's big and strong. That makes the difference.
So 1st and 10 after the 27-yard pickup. Dwayne Thomas fights his way from maybe a yard. Jared Miller in on the stop once again.
Now, again, watch the concentration of the receiver here, making sure that he gets the football, nothing else, and somebody coming right in his face. Big first down play puts them right in the positive 35-yard line as we come into 2nd down, Mike.
No gain on Thomas's last pickup. Certainly Pittsburgh quickly eyeing what's going with Thomas, and certainly Frank Beamer not happy with having to take a timeout already.
Well, what's happening here, they had a substitution problem and also Pitt has not given him a chance to read the thing.
So we'll take our first time out. Virginia Tech on the move on their first possession of the game. Possession, although their run has struggled a little bit early, so strong last week against the Miami Hurricanes. And head coach Frank Beamer was so happy with that. He hopes for some success on the ground this week.
I think we need to. I think it's Virginia Tech football when we can run the football. And you know, when you run it, you can pass it so much better. It opens up those lanes. You have people that's more open because they've had to honor the run. So, we think if we can run the football, we should be able to throw it better.
Druckenmiller intercepted David Sumner on the play action. Pittsburgh ball off the turnover. A bad decision to throw that one, Dick McPherson.
Well, again, we're talking about he should take the ball, take the sack. He's throwing the ball twice away. He can't get away with that kind of thing. big play by the Pitt defense. It's got their offense troubled here right now because they're not allowing them to check off.
Once again, it was the pressure early that made this play.
It's a play-action pass. Nobody's blocking anybody. Pitt has really messed them up with their stunning schemes up front. They've got a big adjustment to do as they get off in their first offensive series.
Let's credit Mike Halpin with putting the pressure on as the Panthers with their first possession of the game. 1st and 10 off the 17-yard return on the interception. They're already up at the 42-yard line. John Ryan, the veteran quarterback, will throw on 1st down. Quickly dumps off for Billy West. West knocked out of bounds. Nope, he stays in. Gets up to about the 48. Good second effort from Billy West.
Quick screen to the Wick side. And again, Billy West made it on his own. That's the sign of a great back right here. Where you watch the line set up, let him through, and now come off to the weak side with Billy. Now again, the first man to make the tackle doesn't make it, so that's a sign of the good back at number 20, Billy West.
Simonis misses the tackle, and eventually Larry Green there on the stop, but not before a 6-yard pickup. So 2nd down and 4. Long count from Ryan. Looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. West gets it, cuts out, misses one tackler, but 3 other Hokies surround him, including Waverly Jackson. Let's take a look now at the Pittsburgh starting offense. John Ryan, the senior quarterback, but the guy to watch, Dietrich Jells, one of the nation's leading receivers so far this season. On the offensive line, 2 new starters, Glass and Robbins, as this line decimated by injuries last week.
There's a tremendous mental game going on here. You can see the cadence is jagged and slow, making sure that they slow down that rush of Virginia Tech. It's a nice game plan here by Pitt as we open up the first quarter. I think they got the right idea of what's going to be happening.
3rd and 6, and whistles on the play. Our first penalty flag thrown.
Penalty flag is thrown.
Our official this afternoon, our referee, Buddy Ward.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard, 3rd down.
So just like that, a 3rd and 11 coming up for Pittsburgh. Let's look at the Virginia Tech defense. A terrific defensive line. J.C. Price had a career game last week against Miami. They also have an extremely strong linebacking crew. Simonis, the junior, whose dad played at Tech back in the 60s. And Torian Gray, all Big East last year. It's had 2 straight strong games.
That Del Rico in the middle is not a bad player either. Number 41.
He's the team captain. Good pressure, Ryan. Flushed out of the pocket, fires downfield. Incomplete. On the 3rd and 11, intended for Keith Jackson. So punting situation coming up now for Pittsburgh. Johnny Majors, in his 28th year, back in 1976, led them to the national championship.
On to punt for the Panthers.
So Nate Cochran on hand. There you see his numbers. He's currently 5th in the Big East. Larry Green back to receive for Virginia Tech. Tech puts on some pressure. Cochran just gets it off in a beautiful kick. Green gets it at the 15 and fumbles and falls down smartly on the football. So the Hokies will take over at their own 18. A 44-yard kick for Cochran. No return. And we'll take the timeout. Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech each come away empty on their first possessions. Larry Green stumbles a little bit on his first punt return.
I think the key to it all is that he didn't compound the mistake. He sees that he made a mistake by fumbling, but he gets right on the football, and now they've got no damage. They've got 80 yards to go, but they've got the football, and here we go with the I formation.
Druckenmiller with a pitch to Dwayne Thomas. Quickly brought down after maybe a pickup of 3. Tumulty in on the stop, along with Zatiti Moody.
Mike, immediately what you've seen is they've taken Virginia Tech right out of the checkoff game. They come right up with a quick count and making them throw the football, or they don't have a predetermined read to run the best football play. They're just going to run whatever they see. What's a shift here by Pitt as we get that a little bit later on.
3-yard pickup that time, so a 2nd and 7. Quick handoff, and he loses the ball. Druckenmiller. Thomas, the smart play, just falls on it, doesn't try and pick up and run. Although they're mishandling the ball, they've made smart plays and making sure they don't lose it.
Well, they're making a lot of mistakes, but they're not turning it over. And I think that's one of the big things. Now, again, the linebacker scraped on the thing, and the quarterback was not prepared to pitch it on the scrape technique. Inside move by the tackle, outside move. A great defense against the weak side option. A good call by Chuck Dreisbach and his defensive coordinator for the Pitt.
Once again, Mike Halpin putting the pressure on in the backfield, causing havoc. Druckenmiller, quick handoff to Thomas. Has a little bit of room and gets up to maybe the original line of scrimmage. Brought down by David Sumner, but the punting unit comes on. The leading punter in the Big East will make his first appearance. John Thomas, number 3 for the Hokies. Averaging, as you see, just under 41 yards per kick. Mark Butler is back to receive for Pittsburgh. Thomas gets a beautiful high kick. Butler at his own 34 breaks one tackle, trying to get outside, and quickly dropped at about the 40. Cornelius White in on the stop. 48-yard kick for Thomas, a beauty as he continues to have a fine season.
Again, we're talking about the second series by Pitt in a very, very positive attitude. They've only got about 60 yards to go for a touchdown. They've pinned Virginia Tech back down inside. It bodes well for the Pitt offense right here if they don't make mistakes.
And you have to credit their defense because they've played aggressive right away. They've taken the running game away from Thomas and put some pressure on Druckenmiller.
They've done everything to stop the Virginia Tech offense so far. Again, Virginia Tech is kept clean by not having turnovers.
First down and 10. They're at the 41. Ryan to West out of reverse. Dietrich Gels the reverse. Torian Gray runs him down at about the 46. Excellent play from Gray as he was not fooled on the play.
I think the great defensive technique that he used on the play was to run to the sideline and force Gels to run back inside. Stop the big gainer because it really developed well. Again, now what Gels has got to do here is sprint to the sideline and turn it upfield. He actually was fooling around just a little bit too much on the play. He's got to get wider fast to counteract the flow of Virginia Tech.
3 wide receivers come into the game. You see Gels with some impressive numbers. Second down and 5. Billy West a call. He's got the first down and more. Across midfield to about the 45 of Virginia Tech. William Yarbrough in on the stop.
Now, we talked about Dwayne Thomas making a statement last week against Miami. Now here comes Billy West making a statement right at the people. Here we come. This is football. Smash you right in the face, and let's play Big East football. We want the conference championship.
West, the Big East Conference Offensive Player of the Year last season, in a storybook year for him. But he injured himself in the opener. Has missed the past 3 games. Looks pretty sharp early here. First down and 5. And quick whistles again as movement on the line.
Start on the outside. 5 yards.
John Marzark with the penalty. Second one for Pittsburgh early on, so they'll put it back to the 49-yard line of the Panthers.
That negates a great run. Puts him into a little bit of trouble. Thank goodness it's second down, and they've got 2 downs here to overcome that offensive mistake.
So first and 15 now for Pittsburgh. No score. A little over 8 minutes remaining here in the first. Play action from Ryan. Quick throw. Billy West out of the backfield. And he scrambles up to about the 42. And let's go to our Big East studios. John Sanders, take it away.
A quick start in the Texas Tech-Baylor game. This is the opening kickoff of the afternoon at Baylor. And the player with the football right from the goal line is Gerard Douglas. He'll race 76 yards. He is finally caught from behind, but he puts the Bears in great field position to start the game. They converted a field goal following that 76-yard return for an early 3-0 lead. No score at Pitt. Let's go back there right now.
The beauty of special teams. Second down and 7. Billy West again. He's got the first down, and a little bit more, gets up to the 30. Finally dragged down. Brandon Simonis with the tackle, but they'll move the chains for the Panthers.
It's very obvious that Billy West got those fresh legs because he is really determined made the big run, made the big catch, made the big run. So it's Billy West Day, and just like Coach Majors said yesterday, they've got to use him to establish him to get some pressure off the rush of Virginia Tech, and they're doing it.
12-yard pickup, so a first down. They're up down to, say, near their 30-yard line of Virginia Tech. West again gets the call. He's got some room outside, but tracked down from behind. Torian Gray with another strong tackle. And West certainly happy to be back. Perhaps no one happier to have him back than the head coach, Johnny Majors. But it's not just a guy putting up numbers with him.
He's a leader. He has great practice habits. That will be a big help to have him in the huddle. And he's the furthest back person when you line up on your offense. But I think it gives those offensive linemen and our quarterback and receivers some extra confidence. We don't have any false visions or ideals that we're going to wear Virginia Tech out running the ball, but he will give us a better chance to at least run it as well as we can run it.
The all-time leading receiver for Pittsburgh, Dietrich Gels, with the first down catch. As for West, he's already got 24 yards rushing, as Frank Beamer does not like the way the team's moving the football against the Tech defense that has been so strong.
Well, it looks like Virginia Tech of last week. Real smooth, knowing what they're doing, and now Virginia Tech is going to get themselves squared away defensively, because John Ryan looks like the game plan is just, he's got to play with a lot of confidence here right now, most especially we can hand off to Billy West, number 20.
First and 10 at the Virginia Tech 18. Pittsburgh moving the football well, mixing it up nicely. A fake. Sadiq Durham on the reverse, spins, still on his feet. Misses another tackle. The flag is thrown in the play. And Durham brought down at about the 12 by Larry Green. We'll await the call from the referee. And this one going against Pittsburgh.
Virginia Tech defense played that extremely well. The guy was in perfect position. Just a spin inside move got Durham away. You have to give Durham credit for a great run.
On the offense, yards on the foul, replay first down.
So they'll bring it back. Pittsburgh came into this game. They lead the Big East in fewest penalty yards assessed per game, but they've already picked up 3 penalties.
I don't think John Majors will mind these penalties if they're going to play with this efficiency. I think they're a little bit more aggressive. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They know the Big East is something to grab after what Virginia Tech did last week. They're excited about playing it today with a 2-2 record. I think they're playing with confidence. That's what I want to see. Which team is going to play with a lot of confidence in what's happening here today? And Pitt is showing it right now.
They've got a 1st and 15 after the penalty. Billy West again has some blockers in front of him, but quickly Myron Newsom closes in and brings him down after perhaps a yard gain.
That's the Virginia Tech defense. You start heading east and west, that means running to the sidelines. They're going to stretch you out, and they can run and they can catch you. We've got to keep attacking up inside if we're Pittsburgh, and we're going to do the job.
Good speed from the linebackers and even some of the defensive line with some excellent pursuit.
And plus, they're great tacklers.
And Newsom had just a terrific game last week against Miami. Had a sack. A lot of pressures, number of tackles. 2nd and 13 after just a 2-yard pickup. Ryan goes into the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, but he hands off straight up the middle, but nobody fooled. 20-yard line. Demetrius Harris on the carry. And once again, another long 3rd down coming up. Let's head back to our Big East studios. John Sanders, another update.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. West Virginia had an early 3-0 lead at East Carolina, but watch this action. Marcus Crandall goes deep. Taking it away from the defender is Larry Shamon. He goes into the end zone. It's a 67-yard touchdown play, and ECU has a 7-3 lead. Let's go back to Pitt.
Durham goes in motion, 3rd and 12. Ryan in the shotgun, fires downfield, incomplete. Almost a touchdown intended for Gels.
Well, I think John had to put it a little bit behind him, which caused the receiver to turn back. Very, very tough catch, but actually it was the good coverage of Virginia Tech that stopped this. Going to help Virginia Tech an awful lot. They had him down. They had him marching on him. They held him when they had to, and now the field goal attempt is what it's all about. Again, nobody blocks better in the country than a Frank Beamer coach team. So the antenna is up as far as Pitt to execute this thing properly.
So we'll call it a 37-yarder for Ferencik. He has been perfect so far this year. The freshman perfect in his field goals and also on his extra points. And he gets into this one nicely. So the freshman from Strongsville, Ohio remains perfect. And Pitt gets on the board first. Just over 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers have a 3-0 lead in their Big East Conference opener. Pittsburgh with the early lead here in the first quarter, courtesy of a 37-yard field goal from freshman Craig Ferencik.
Well, I think again he's not punting, kicking like a freshman anymore. He's got great confidence. He hasn't missed this year. Watch how he comes down with style, keeps his head down, good golf swing, good kick swing, 3 points.
The lefty puts it through. He's now 5 for 5 on the season. Good hold from John Ryan. We saw last week in Virginia Tech's loss, Atle Larsen had his problems, but it wasn't all his fault because he had some problems with the holding.
Yeah, and snap, the hold, all a part of the protection, is all a part of the PAT. But is it John Majors lucky to be here at Pitt and take a true freshman and get him in there and kick like he is already? That bodes well for the future, and I think with the start that he's had, it's just going to build up on his confidence. So Craig Ferencik is something that's going to set solid here for a long time.
It's a problem with the scoreboard clock right now as they try and reset it. There's your time remaining in the first quarter. So Pittsburgh will kick off, and Ryan, the senior's had his ups and downs here with Pittsburgh. He's thrown a lot of interceptions this year. He saw the numbers earlier, 11 with 7 touchdowns, but they feel his experience, he's been through the adversity. It's going to be very strong this year as they hit into conference play.
Well, I think the message is loud and clear. Don't throw interceptions, John. Let our defense play error-free football, and we can win. We got that message loud from John Majors yesterday.
Number 41, Todd Martin, tees it up to kick off.
60-year-old Johnny Majors likes the way his team has played this year. They're 2-2. They had the bad loss last week against Ohio State, but the other loss, they played very tough.
I think a lot of people are going to have bad losses against Ohio State this year.
Absolutely.
They've got a wonderful football team. Veteran, talented. And
Todd Barton to kick off once again. Thomas fields it at his own 12. Cuts inside, brings it up to about the 27. And now let's take a look at our John Hancock out of town scores, brought to you by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. Druckenmiller comes on, moved the football well the first time they had it, but then threw the interception on a bad decision. And since then, he's been under fire all day. Pitt's defense has really put some pressure on him.
I think he's had pressure on him all day. Now let's see if they've made the right adjustments, because I think that Jim started this all himself by trying to throw that ball away instead of eating it and punting it away.
Ken Oxendine comes in for the first time. Druckenmiller in the shotgun finds Oxendine, cuts inside, breaks some tackles, and maybe an 8-yard gain as he gets up to about the 37-yard line. Sumner in on the stop.
I think, again, the inside pursuit by Pitt, but Kenny Oxendine really turned the ball upfield and kept away from the inside pursuit and made a very, very good gain on first down. That'll slow those linebackers down from the inside fake.
7-yard pickup. So 2nd down and 3. This one straight up, but absolutely nowhere to go. There's Tyler Young and Zatiti Moody in on the stop. Check that Mike Mooring.
I think, again, the inability of Virginia Tech to be able to check off. They're running right into the strength of the Pitt defense with some great tacklers and some very, very strong people up front. And I think that's it. Tom Tumulty will be there. You can't run it right at him unless you put 2 people on him.
He is the leader of the defense. 3rd down and 2. Druckenmiller out of the shotgun. Fires downfield. Jermaine Holmes, did he have it in bounds? Incomplete. Anthony Dorsett with some terrific coverage.
I think one of the things that people have got to understand in college football, you're allowed to tackle a man up in the air and push him out of bounds, which is different than the pro rule. So there's nothing wrong with this call. Excellent call by the official. Now, this is a great play by the Pitt defender. In pro football, that would be called a reception.
Holmes made a nice catch on it. Dorsett wouldn't even nicer play, and yes, he is the son of Tony Dorsett. Thomas back to punt again. This one a short kick. And it's going to go out of bounds, so no return for Butler. Pittsburgh will take over. 29-yard punt for Thomas. Once again, John Sanders has an update on the Wake Forest Virginia game. John?
Exactly right, Mike. We take you to Charlottesville, and then a good start for Mike Grove. The Cavaliers fires on the crossing pattern to Derek Bird. 65-yard strike here, and the Cavaliers move ahead quickly over Wake, 7-0. Let's go back to Pitt Stadium. Mike and Dick, gentlemen.
Again, the control of this first quarter is Pitt all the way. Here again, they're going with only 65 yards to go. They've had 2 60-yard drives and now a 65-yard one. Excellent field position. Can really open up their offensive attack because of that.
So 1st and 10. Ryan straight up the middle. And a strong game, maybe 8 yards. Billy West once again looking sharp. Tony Morrison in on the stop.
Kenny Karcher said that he had what he considered to be a good game plan. Everything's going according to style here right now. And even though that the Virginia Tech defense is an excellent defense, we're hitting the seams on them right now in terms of how they're attacking.
2nd and 4, so a 6-yard pickup. If you're wondering about West's injury, he looks sharp. Fumble on the snap. Ryan does the wise thing, just falling on it. But a flag and a play. So we'll see the call.
Oh, illegal snap on the 5-yard replay.
Illegal snap by the offense. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, that's a call from Buddy Ward.
Yeah, I don't know what the rule
Looked like he
is.
hesitated at first. There was a little move and then did it.
Well,
just a slight movement with the football. So a 2nd and 9, they'll bring it back. Already 4 penalties for the Panthers. Quick, and it's deflected, incomplete. Lawrence Lewis appeared to get a piece of it. And John Sanders, another update back at our Big East studios.
Mike, thank you very much. We take you to East Lansing in punt formation. It's Boston College and Jason Malecki kicking to Derek Mason. He does a great job just to catch it. And then he turns it around, wiggles his way through traffic. It is a 30-yard return. He finally runs out of room, runs out of bounds. It does set up a field goal, and the Spartans have the lead, 3-0. Let's go back to Pitt Stadium.
Thank you, John. 3rd and 9. 3 wide receivers split out on the near side for Pittsburgh. Ryan again in the shotgun, hands off to Harris, breaks a tackle, and he's got plenty of room. Demetrius Harris gets the first down up at about the 46. Lauren Johnson in on the stop. And a flag thrown on the play. It looks like a face mask. Harris is the guy that took over when West went down. Well, he's getting an opportunity again.
It's a great play by his part. I thought he should have taken it right up field there and dove for the first down. Taking it outside is an excellent play by him. First down. And it's very clear that we got a great call by the official. We can't have those kind of face masks. That's a dangerous play. Good rule to have that in.
So a 15-yarder. That moves the ball all the way up to the Virginia Tech 38. Final minute and a half here in the first quarter. Panthers with a 3-0 lead.
The tempo is strictly with the Pitt Panthers right now. They're doing exactly what they want to do. Very, very disciplined in doing.
Ryan under pressure, flips it out for Harris. How did he get it away? And Harris close to another first down. Beautiful adjustment from John Ryan.
Just an option pitch forward, that's all.
And already a good start for Harris.
Again, it's a double fake, fake screen strong, and then come back to the weak side on the thing. Excellent call.
And Coleman put on the good pressure, but Ryan sensing the rush. So a 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard pickup. Some strong running and nice adjustments from the Pitt offense. Harris again, big hole, gets the first down to the 25-yard line. Coleman in on the stop. along with Simonis. Hey, this offensive line may have some new faces, but they've done a good job.
Well, I think, again, Pitt is doing a great job of checking plays off, seeing the defense, and coming back to weak side. It's almost a parallel of what Virginia Tech was doing to Miami last week. So we're going to see some adjustments, I'm sure, by the Virginia Tech defense in terms of shifting around just a little bit more. They're doing a good job. John Ryan's doing a good job of reading everything right now.
Again, Harris the call, and maybe a couple. George Del Rico quickly in on the stop. Pittsburgh already with 5 first downs here in the first quarter, and that'll be our final play of the opening period. So the Virginia Tech defense being tested early on. And they'll go down the other end of the field. Pittsburgh marching once again. They've already got a 37-yard field goal. Frank Beamer's defense needs to tighten up. They trail 3-0 here in Pittsburgh.
Studio, we invite you to stick with us at halftime. We have plenty coming up. Our Saturday scoreboard, we'll look around the country with highlights and scores from all kinds of football action. And we'll go from campus to campus with our weekly Big East report. That's also coming up at halftime. And a special feature for you. We look back at the history of running backs at the University of Pittsburgh. All coming up at halftime. Let's get you back to Pitt Stadium for the second quarter. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you, John Sanders. A 37-yard field goal, the only scoring in that first quarter. Some defenses bending, not breaking. Virginia Tech, a team that leads the Big East in rushing defense. They've seen Pittsburgh run the football on them.
Yeah, I think that the scheme that the Pitt Panthers has is excellent.
Ryan, a quick throw, and Gels can't hold on. Larry Green right there with a hit after the drop, but you won't see that very often from Dietrich Gels.
No, again, he didn't concentrate on the catch. He tried to look downfield as he was catching it. You got to look it in, do your hands. Excellent throw by John Ryan, right on target, wide open call.
You saw a lot of room in front there. Ryan so far 4 of 8 for 30 yards. There's your third down conversions. They've got a 3rd and 8 right now. Sadiq Durham goes in motion. Quick handoff inside to Harris, and he's quickly knocked down. Spins a little bit, ran into a wall there that included his own man, but Tony Morrison in on the stop. Let's check out some of the numbers from the first quarter. Pitt moving the football. You see the 5 first downs and already 60 yards rushing. This is a team that only gives up 63, 66 yards per game. They lead the Big East in that category.
I think with the accomplishments of the Virginia Tech offense, they're very, very fortunate to be only 3 points down now. Here's another big test. You got a 40-yard field goal coming up here by the freshman out of Strongsville, Ohio.
Yeah, he's 5 for 5 this year. No problem once again. Ferencik, the freshman, is banged in too. This one from 40 yards away.
He thinks this is easy, Mike. He doesn't know any difference.
That freshman responsible for all our scoring. Yeah. Opening minute here in the second quarter at Pitt Stadium, and the Panthers with the early lead.
Having their problems at East Carolina. Let's take a look from the 10-yard line for the Pirates. The quarterback is Marcus Crandall. He will take it, roll. He looks to pass. There's nobody there. He brings it down after the fake, sneaks into the end zone, and ECU has a 14-3 lead over the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Let's go back to Pitt Stadium where the Panthers lead by 6. Gentlemen?
Dick McPherson, I don't know if freshmen are supposed to enjoy college football this much.
Yeah, he thinks, look, he'll start shaving here before long. He's starting to be a man. Everybody's coming over, congratulating him. I think this is a great story, but the thing that's nice from a coaching standpoint, my goodness, we've got a kicker here for 4 years, and you don't know how much that means in a football game. We saw a little bit of it last week when Virginia Tech couldn't put the game away.
Chris Ferencik, the freshman, 6 for 6 now in his college days. And Todd Barton once again will do he's the specialist for the kickoff duties.
I think one of the things we must talk about inside the red zone with the Pitt offense, Virginia Tech kept about twice, and that's the reason for 6 points. It could have been 14. But by the same token, the Pitt Panthers are operating tremendously well offensively. Well, everything they're doing is well today.
Thomas lets it go out of bounds. I'm sure he wanted to pick it up, maybe misjudged it, and Virginia Tech, their backs to the wall on the start of this series.
That ball should come out to the 35 now.
It looked like he may have touched it.
Make any touch it. The momentum didn't change. What is he? He didn't have possession of the ball.
That's where they're going to spot it. Tough to tell on that one if he
didn't touch it.
No, it didn't look it on that one, but and that was awfully close. Either way, Virginia Tech could have started their own
35 in college ball now. Even if he had touched the ball, he must have control of it. He didn't slap it out. He didn't cause any momentum change in the football. It's a tough call on Virginia Tech.
So they've got 98 yards to go.
You can't have in a football game because it changes everything around.
Quick handoff inside. This one goes to Brian Edmonds. He gets up to about the 4. Tom Tumulty on the stop. He is the leader right from day one here at Pittsburgh. Started first game as a freshman, and he's been the main man for Johnny Majors right from the start.
Well, don't you just love to see somebody wrap somebody up and hit him like Tom just did? No wonder they call him Tom Terrific. I think now this is a character time as far as Virginia Tech. Can they move the football out of there and get some field position for that defense? Because this is a critical series right here. Because they're really in a hole.
Druckenmiller in the shotgun. Out of the pocket, fires downfield. Cornelius White, the reception on the first down.
That's the move in the pocket. Moved outside, changed the rush. That was so effective on him before. Good call by Virginia Tech. Now they move the football out of the danger area. Critical series, and they responded to it.
Druckenmiller showing some nice mobility.
Well, I think these are the things that you have. See, it changed the whole concept of where the pass rush was, and it was a very effective football play. Gave Pitt something else to think of defensively.
Dorsett throws him out of bounds. 1st and 10, some room to breathe. And the shotgun again, quick handoff to Thomas. And he goes nowhere. The Pitt defense, Mike Halpin, has been all over the job. And once again, Wake Forest, Virginia, things happening. Back to our Big East studio, John Sanders.
Mike, they are happening in Charlottesville for quarterback Mike Grove. He will fire a touchdown pass, 18 yards here to Jermaine Holmes, who's all alone in the end zone, 14-0. The Cavs are on a roll. Let's go back to Pitt Stadium where the Panthers have them in a hole.
Virginia looking sharp early.
George Welch has done an amazing job with that program. The Cavaliers tremendous.
Druckenmiller fires complete to Bryant, still a first down at about the 28-yard line. Jay Jones on the stop, but not before they'll move the chains up.
Again, first down pass, mixing it up. First down, second down pass, roll out. This is what you have to do. You have to keep Pitt off balance here because they were so effective in the first quarter. We've had more production immediately in the second quarter than we had in all the first quarter. So I think the Virginia Tech is now settling down offensively. Now let's see what the Pitt adjustment's going to be.
Ball at the 28-yard line. Edmonds and Thomas in the backfield. Dwayne Thomas goes nowhere again. John McCray meets him pretty much at the line of scrimmage, along with Tyler Young. So Thomas, who just ran like the Dickens last week against Miami, has really struggled so far against Pittsburgh. Their defensive line has done an excellent job.
Well, I think when they go to that I formation, they have a very strong inside run, play-action game, and Pitt is playing it tremendously and with great techniques and tremendous tackling ability.
Thomas, 6 carries, just 13 yards. 2nd and 9 out of the backfield. He's got a lot of room. Dwayne Thomas brought down across midfield at about the 48. Zatiti Moody comes in from behind to get him, along with Denorce Mosley. 23-yard pickup.
Caught them with a quick screen off the man-to-man blitz, and just a perfect call against the defense called. And you get Dwayne Thomas in the open field like this, he can really make it happen. Now it's a very positive. This is what I was talking about before. Starting on the 2-yard line with a bad call by the official. And here they are, turn the thing over the other side of the 50. Big change of field adjustment by Virginia Tech. It's going to bode well for the second quarter for them.
Oxendine and Parker. Check that. Edmonds remains in the game. Oxendine, though, comes in, quickly gets a handoff, tries to spin away from a hole. Somebody's holding on to him. And he's brought down after maybe a yard. Tyler Young making sure that Oxendine goes nowhere. So a 2nd and 9 coming up. Pittsburgh also needed a strong showing early, as you see Oxendine and head coach Frank Beamer.
I think Pittsburgh had the strong showing. They're at home. I think the adjustment by Virginia Tech this drive bodes well for the second quarter, because now they've drastically changed the field position. They were in deep trouble down there in the 2-yard line.
2nd and 9. Oxendine, they try to reverse. Brian Still cuts inside and knocked down. Terrific tackle from Anthony Dorsett. Both coaches getting a little creative with the play calling.
Well, I think that the play looked like it was going to be a lot better than it was, but I think that the guy running the football is not used to running with it, and the wide receivers have got to make a better run with it.
So 9th play of the drive coming up. And that started way back at their own 2-yard line, a 3rd and 6. Druckenmiller back in the shotgun once again. 3 wide receivers. Looks downfield, fires for Still, just over his head, out of the reach. Good coverage, Darrell Cash right there with him.
Again, well-executed pass play, well-executed defense. Here they are. Let's get with the ball. It's an all-time pattern. But look at Jim Druckenmiller, how he stays in there against the pressure of the Pitt defense. I'm impressed with this young man, even though he's only a junior starter. It's his first-year starter, which the last 2 weeks that we've seen him, he's been an excellent quarterback.
Mike Mooring putting on good pressure. Thomas with a beautiful high punt. Mark Butler, the fair catch. And that's where Pittsburgh will start on this possession. Their own 16-yard line, 28-yard punt, but he gets it inside the 20. Pittsburgh leads at 6-0 here in the second. Pittsburgh leads 6-0. They'll get a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Don't forget there was an excellent punt by John Thomas, even though it was 28 yards. And starting down there with 84 yards to go, just where they want him from a defensive standpoint.
Ryan hands off to West, has a little blocking ahead of him. West knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 23. Larry Green knocks him out. Crowd wanted a late hit. Today's Big East Conference game is a copyrighted telecast of Creative Sports Incorporated. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of any or all of this game without the express prior written consent of Creative Sports is prohibited.
Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
John Ryan trying to be creative with the Pitt offense. They've moved the football well. They've come away with 2 field goals. And that's our scoring so far here in the first half. 2nd and 5. West again, and he's got the 1st down. Torian Gray on the stop. BC, Michigan State, things happening out there. Let's go back to John Sanders in our biggest studios.
Mike, they are happening. Kenyatta Watson on the reverse, but keep your eye on the quarterback, Mark Hartzell. He'll get out in front, lead the way, a great block there. That sets it up. He squeezes into the end zone, 38 yards, and Boston College is on top 7-3. That's the story for Michigan State. Let's go back to Pitt and Mike and Dick.
Scampering quarterbacks, 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. Line again to West. West gets outside and picks up another chunk of yards. Larry Green knocks him out of bounds, but a penalty flag in the play. This one going against Pittsburgh once again. So another penalty on Johnny Major's club. And they came in as the best in that department in terms of penalty yards per game, least in the Big East, but that has not been the case this afternoon.
Hold on the offense. 10 yards, spot of the foul. 1st down.
So holding, says Buddy Ward. His microphone.
I don't know if that made John Majors hot or not, but he certainly caused him to take his coat off at least.
5th penalty for 35 yards.
I think that neither team can operate that way and score a lot of points. They've got to be mistake-free to officially operate. They're both that kind of football team.
So 1st and 20. That's been the only thing that slowed them down offensively. West again slips and falls down. Maybe he's gotten a few more yards, but there were defenders there.
Well, again, the contain was there and made him force back up inside, just exactly where they wanted to, and he had to take too sharp a cut on the AstroTurf, and down he goes. Billy West deserves to be an all-East football player because he certainly is a tremendous talent. You watch him, he makes people miss. And I think when they called for a late hit on the sidelines, you know how hard he runs. You better hit him hard over there because he's going to run right through you if you don't. I think the officials have to take that in consideration.
Over 5 yards of carry for West on his first game back. Ryan under pressure rolls out, looks downfield, fires, complete for a first down up to about the 43-yard line. Sadiq Durham on the reception. 21-yard pickup.
Again, Pitt pulled to Virginia Tech. Now they moved the pocket, came to the outside on the thing, had much better protection, gave him time, and watched the back come across the football. I thought Virginia Tech was going to come up to receive it. He just didn't make the big play, and 82 came right in front of him to take it away from him. Excellent play, both sides of the football.
Durham's first catch, 21 now for the season. He had 4 catches in his career prior to this year. Former walk-on has been a real surprise. First down and 10. Fires, no good, incomplete. Just a little bit too long that time for Gels. Larry Green right there on the coverage. But Ryan looks sharp. He's moving well, throwing on the run well.
I think what Kenny Karcher wants you to see is a quarterback that's poised, a quarterback that will be mistake-free, and will do the things that's necessary to win the football game. And that's what you see out of John Ryan, an experienced fifth-year guy here today.
Second and 10. 6-0 lead for Pittsburgh. Quick drop for Ryan. Gels this time has it. And he's close to a first down. Should get it at about the 45-yard line.
It is a first down. Yeah.
Brandon Simonis and Green right there to knock him out of bounds, but they'll get that first down once again. Pittsburgh moving the football. Certainly a team that has shown that they can move the football as long as they avoid those turnovers. We mentioned Ryan, 11 interceptions through the first 4 games. This is an
excellent drive, Mike, right here. It's just exactly what you need to do is pull it out of the zone. They're turning the field position around. Head 6-0.
Ryan playing smart. Demetrius Harris cuts back inside again. And quickly thrown down. Cornell Brown among those in on the stop. No gain on the play.
You've got to admire the Virginia Tech swarm defense in terms of all those linebackers and linemen. Once that ball going somewhere with the ball back in it, they go get it.
So a player down on the field. Brown shaken up after making the tackle. And that is not good news for Virginia Tech. One of their premier defensive players. They say he's the best pass rusher in Virginia Tech since Bruce Smith.
You can't say very much better than that, but by the same token, Bruce Smith was the best I've ever seen. So that's a great credit to Cornell Brown.
A lot of bodies around when he went down as you see him touch his left hip there.
I think that it looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. Somebody came up and put a shoulder pad in his ribs. I think that's what's happening to him. I don't see any. I think what they're trying to do, I hope that's what it is. They're moving the knee right now.
His brother Ruben played at this stadium. Now with the Buffalo Bills, a first-round pick. Rookie year in the NFL, so I'm sure he's been here before as a spectator. He doesn't want help. He wants to walk this off himself.
Yep.
So Brown will get a little bit of a breather as team doctors will attend to him. Meanwhile, a 2nd and 9 coming up. Ryan's mixed it up well.
Glad to see Cornell get off the field like that, though, because he's a wonderful football player.
Raphael Williams will take his place for the time being. Schneider in motion there as they give it to Billy West. Billy almost tripped up. He's got the first down and more. Billy West all the way down to the 23-yard line. Pearson Prelo in on the stop, but another big pickup for Billy West. This time it went for 21 yards.
Again, a back that's got that balance, can make people miss, and still has the power can see right now he's not worried about his shoulders. He's making the statement that Virginia Tech made with their backs last week. You can see why Johnny Majors wanted him back.
There's his numbers. He almost got tripped up at the line of scrimmage on that play. Gets the call once again, tries to go back, avoids a few more tacklers, and has some room. Now to the 16, Torian Gray in on another tackle.
That's the back making it on his own, cutting back against everything. On his own, he made this yardage.
Boy, look at that balance.
Yeah, that's determination. Get that hand down and be able to come back up like that.
So a 9-yard pickup.
You see, there's nobody from Pitt sitting down. They're all excited. Billy West is exciting his own teammates.
2nd and 1, an easy first down for Demetrius Harris. As they're down to the 12, Pitt has threatened a number of times. They've only come away with 2 field goals. This is where Virginia Tech defense gets so tough.
I think it was a terrific 2nd down and 1 call. They went to a quick count, and Virginia Tech wasn't even ready. No was I. Excellent play.
Just under 6 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter, 6-0 lead for Pittsburgh, with the Panthers on the move again. And just look at those rushing yards. That is unheard of in the first half.
10 on the 12, right?
Yep. Harris gets the call. He's got a blocker ahead of him, cuts inside. Maybe a 4-yard pickup. Myron Newsom, one of those in on the stop, along with Raphael Williams. Running game so strong.
I think what we have here is just a weak side football play, and Thomas is a fresh back coming in, trying to keep the momentum going. Excellent call by the offense, and to to take Billy West out down here is a very, very surprising thing. Just to give him a little bit of break. Shows that confidence in Demetrius, though, in my opinion.
4-yard pickup. They're at the 8-yard line. Harris again, and quickly thrown back. Myron Newsom with a hard hit. George Del Rico also right there.
Now again, we're inside there. Here's an excellent look at the pursuit. Look at the pursuit. Now you've got the love, just exactly the way these people.
3rd down and 5.
This is a big football play right here. They keep out here. They've done a major job.
They can still get a first down. Billy West. They try the reverse. Butler, and thrown for a loss. William Yarbrough not fooled at all as he's thrown back to the 16-yard line.
Now, first guy out there is the kicker. He knows his duties. This is, again, a big kick, because now they get to 9. Now they get inside the 25. Now they can go for it on 4th down because they get the winning edge with the 8 and the 7 all taken care of. Big kick right here. And I'll tell you one thing, is Chris Ferencik gets this thing through, he's a tremendous bonus to this Pitt football team.
This is a 31-yarder. He's already hit 2, as you see. He has yet to miss in his college career. The freshman lining up again. This kid is unbelievable.
Well, he's got nice ones, 40, 37, 31. John Majors is making sure he builds up the confidence and he goes. 9 makes a big score for him. They can do a lot of things now.
9-0 lead for the Panthers, late 2nd quarter. Although upperclassmen might not like it, the freshman responsible for all the scoring. Place kicker Chris Ferencik, 3 field goals, a perfect 3 for 3. Panthers with the lead. Coming up at halftime, John Sanders back in our Big East studios. We'll have all the highlights, plus a feature on the great running back tradition here at Pitt. A tradition that is continuing with the likes of Billy West and Demetrius Harris, both impressive this afternoon.
Well, I think this. I've watched both football teams. No poise lost either side. Both teams still in the football game, 9-0. Again, this is a big series just before the half. If we can get some points on the board, if we're Virginia Tech, if we're Pitt, if we can just stop them right now, that's the thing that we're looking for as we set the last basic series for each unit as we end up the first half.
Todd Barton once again to kick off. Dwayne Thomas backtracks his own one is where he starts. And Thomas quickly knocked up at about the 18. David Sumner in on the tackle. Back to our Big East studio. John Sanders with more on East Carolina, West Virginia.
And more problems for the Mountaineers. Marcus Crandall having an outstanding first half. He'll hang in the pocket, finally finding Larry Shannon right at the back of the end zone. His second touchdown. They missed the extra point. East Carolina by 17. Back to Pittsburgh.
Although a tough road game, still would be an upset. West Virginia struggling.
Well, I mean, you know, East Carolina has already beaten Syracuse, so they'll want to join the Big East pretty fast here. They'll be talking about us if we're not careful.
Virginia Tech will start at their own 19. First and 10, they trail 9-0. Quick handoff inside, maybe a yard or two. Marcus Parker on the carry. Tyler Young with the stop.
It's going to be interesting to see here what the series is going to do as far as Virginia Tech is. Are they going to go after him and try to get back in this ball game, or are they going to be playing it safe and eat up some of the clock?
They have 2 timeouts remaining. They had to take one early on. Oxendine and Parker are the setbacks on 2nd and 8. Druckenmiller hit as he throws. It's complete. Jennings, the tight end, up to about the 30 and a first down. Jay Jones in on the stop. Mike Halpin with the pressure, but Druckenmiller did a good job getting rid of that.
Yes, again, there was a lot of pressure on him. It's amazing how clean and clear these Pitt linemen are coming through, but they answered my question fast. Frank Beamer's going after them, and I think that's important.
You see the numbers on first down, evident of Pittsburgh really moving the football. Tech trying it right now, 1st and 10, their own 31. 3 wide receivers. Yeah. Fires. Cornelius White can't get it. Bad throw, a little bit low. And incomplete, 2nd down coming up.
I think it was all Jim Druckenmiller's fault, though. He didn't get himself under control, didn't have the poise that he needed just to drill that thing in there.
Druckenmiller now 6 of 11. When he's had time to throw, he's been effective, although that time rushed it a bit. He did throw the 1 interception earlier on.
Kind of a sloppy throw that we talked about earlier, because the first one he threw was up for grabs also.
Again, 3 wide receivers. There's the junior's numbers. 2nd down and 10. 2:22 remaining here in the first half. Druckenmiller has time, complete. Out of the backfield, Ken Oxendine tries to break a tackle, but Tumulty says no. However, a pickup, perhaps 6 yards.
Jim Druckenmiller is an excellent pitch and catch kind of guy. He can pitch the ball to the throwers with his feet under him, and all he has to do is get balance, and a big, strong, nice arm, accurate thrower.
So a 3rd down and 5. Out of the shotgun, Druckenmiller. Incomplete. Oxendine can't hold on. Well, check down Marcus Parker. Halpin putting on some pressure. And 4th down coming up. Good defensive first half from Pittsburgh, and the fans appreciate it.
Now, he threw it away from a defender, and the fullback, even though it's a tough catch, he's got to make those catches. That keeps the drive going, and now instead of that, they give Pitt another chance with just under 2 minutes to play.
John Thomas, the leading punter in the Big East, gets this one off. A low kick. Mark Butler at his own 30. Trying to get outside. And wrapped up at about the 37-yard line. Cornelius White, one of those to hit him, along with Danny Wheel. And a flag on the play, as Dick says. 34-yard punt.
I think the ball now is on with about 65 yards to go. With a 9-0 lead, you got a safe lead. You're going to be able to move the ball down. But the critical thing is, what is the penalty? And usually it is on the receiving team when something like this happens.
Except when it's that penalty. So another face mask goes against Virginia Tech, their 2nd one of the first half. But let's see how many yards they walk off.
It's a 15-yarder.
Yep.
Unnecessary roughness with the face mask.
Foul. Mask.
Well,
Kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Boy, is that a big penalty.
I don't know that it was on the kicker, though.
So Pittsburgh will take over at the 48 of Virginia Tech late in the first half. 3 field goals for Pittsburgh gives them a 9-0 lead here late in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, John Sanders back in our Big East studio. A lot of highlights, some upsets in the making, plus a terrific feature on the great running back tradition here at Pitt. Golden opportunity for the Panthers, Dick McPherson.
Well, I mean, the sun is shining clearly on them today. A 9-0 lead. Great chance for a 2-minute offense, 3 timeouts. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this thing goes.
Billy West picks up some
college ball, the stop clocks. The clock stops if they get a first down, so Pitt is taking it themselves.
Lawrence Lewis on the tackle. And the Panthers will take their first time out, so they have 2 remaining.
Interesting.
Look at those numbers. Again, he hasn't played since the opener because of the collarbone injury, but he has looked very sharp.
Very interesting that they called a timeout so quickly with all this time left.
So West perhaps a little bit fatigued after missing the last
I wondered
few
if they did they do this with an injury situation, or did they just do it for a strategy situation?
Doesn't appear to be.
They've got John over there. No injury, just I guess that Kenny Karcher, the offensive coordinator, wanted to talk to his quarterback, John Ryan.
So Ryan gets a bit of coaching, now walks back toward the huddle. Frank Beamer certainly does not want to score right here. His defense has let up a lot of yards, but only the 3 field goals. He does not want certainly anything in the end zone as we end the first half.
I think that from a defensive standpoint, you know, you're very satisfied if you come out of here with a 9-0 lead by Pitt, because they certainly have been down there very, very productive. Now they're shooting for the first down. Stop the clock.
West shy of the first down, quickly brought down. J.C. Rice right there.
Now keep the clock going and get your first down, or punt them down there in the hole.
Clock continues to go. They still have the 2 timeouts left.
They're taking as much time as they can off the clock, and they've got 2 timeouts. Very, very good strategy by the Pitt Panthers right now from a clock management standpoint. Big first down here, then they go right back to the 2-minute offense if they get the first down.
3rd and 2.
Virginia Tech's got to be ready to call a timeout if they don't.
Butler in motion, and we have flags on the play. This one, no doubt, will go against Pittsburgh.
On the offense.
6th penalty of the first half for the Panthers.
Well, they've certainly squandered a magnificent opportunity where they started with the football with 3 timeouts, and now they're 3rd and long, where they were 2nd and short with 3 timeouts, called a time, and they just lost their momentum here as they're going in at halftime. Tremendous defense, though, by Virginia Tech. They can get out of here with 9-point down. I think they're going to be all right.
3rd and 7. There's your time remaining in the first half. 3rd down conversions have not been successful. Billy West cuts inside and goes nowhere. Lawrence Lewis, the first man
now
ahead.
Virginia Tech calls timeout.
They're going to let this one go out.
No, the coach over there was trying to get the call in.
So they do get it. Frank Beamer finally reaches the player. So with 14 seconds remaining, 4th down and 7 coming up for Pittsburgh.
Now what they're doing is getting their excellent punt rush football team ready, and nobody does it better. I think out of the 5 out of the last 6 Big East games, they've blocked some kind of a kick in the kicking game.
Well, they've blocked 4 this season. They've blocked 2 punts, a field goal, and an extra point. And in Frank Beamer's years, 44 block kicks in 93 games. They are as good as anybody in the country at blocking kicks.
And this is the kind of thing that makes sure that your kicking special teams coach gets a little nervous about.
Don't forget John Sanders at halftime back in our Big East studios. Lots of highlights, a lot of scoring in some of the games and some upsets in the making.
You know, one of the things I like is the way John Sanders keeps us up with all the games that are going on across the nation. I think I like this Big East studio, whatever it is. I like that.
Frank Beamer wants to get some highlights for his team in at halftime.
Now I think we're going to be watching 38 better get rid of this football real fast, and I think nobody knows that better than Nate. Very, very fluid punter. Here they come.
This one goes into the end zone, does not want to take any chance of a return, so Virginia Tech will take over at their own 20, a 44-yard punt. With 8 seconds remaining in the first half, Tech will take over at their own 20. Cochran, the junior, make sure no return on that one.
I don't know how they get down to 8 seconds.
For Virginia Tech, ball at the Hokies' own 20-yard line. 8 seconds remaining.
So unlikely Virginia Tech to try and do anything here on this.
I thought Virginia Tech called a timeout a lot sooner than the 8 seconds, which now they'll just run a quarterback sneak, get themselves out of here if the 8 seconds is correct.
Druckenmiller over center. Hands it to Dwayne Thomas. Sumner hits Thomas at about the 25.
9-0 at halftime. Virginia Tech, we're grateful. Pitt has got to take a little bit more advantage of their opportunities.
Both defenses doing a good job. Pittsburgh pitching a shutout right now. Tech, meanwhile, not letting anyone in the end zone, despite some strong offensive play from Pittsburgh. And that will be the end of the first half. Pittsburgh leading Virginia Tech 9-0. Right back to our Big East studios. John Sanders, take it away.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. We'll get back to Mike and Dick a little bit later, look at some first half stats and highlights, but we have a lot coming up from the studio, highlights from around the country, all kinds of scores, and our Big East report. That's all coming your way right after this from the Big East studio. Stay with us.
Halftime at Pitt Stadium, and the Panthers leading the Hokies 9-0. One of the stories in that first half, Dick McPherson, was certainly the Pitt defense. They came up with a 1 turnover in the first half. Druckenmiller throws the interception.
Well, I think Jim was very sloppy, which is uncharacteristic of him. He hasn't done it since, but he just threw that up thing for grabs, and the only guy that was around was number 46, Sumner, and he made the play and returned it upfield to give him positive field yardage.
Meanwhile, offensively, they ran the ball very well. The return of Billy West was a successful one.
Well, Johnny Majors and Kenny Karcher were talking about what he meant to the Pitt team, and he's doing for Pitt what Dwayne Thomas did for Virginia Tech last week in terms of getting everybody ready.
They also threw the ball well. Ryan finding Sadiq Durham on this. They mixed it up nicely.
I think, again, there's a tremendous effort by a young walk-on receiver by the name of Durham coming across here and taking it away from those very aggressive defensive backs who thought they had an interception.
No real offense for Virginia Tech, and one of the main reasons is Jim Druckenmiller, their quarterback, had no time.
I think one of the things we can say, he certainly keeps his poise under pressure because he's got hammered here today. But he's a 6'4", 222-pound gentleman that looks like he can take the hits. And here we are, 9-0 the second half. I think that the swarming defense that we're talking about right now epitomizes what Pitt is doing. They are fired up playing this game, and they've kept the shutout, just exactly what they should do. Look at these halftime stats, Mike.
Again, one of the keys is the rushing yards. Pittsburgh 118. Virginia Tech #1 of the Big East in that department. They only give up 66 per game coming in, but the Panthers have run the ball. The one highlight we didn't show you, and it's the only offensive scoring, Craig Ferencik, the freshman, 3 for 3 on field goals.
Yeah, as I said before, he thinks it's better than playing against Brewer High up there back next door to Strongsville. This is easy.
Hey, you see Mark Butler back to receive.
Now, here we've got to set the tone for the second half. Virginia Tech kicking off.
Atle Larsen with a strong kick. And it goes into the end zone. So Pittsburgh will take over at their own 20. Larsen's first kick of the day. He hasn't had any opportunities to kick a field goal, certainly with no scoring, no kickoffs. But Pitt will take over. They've moved the football in the first half, but have only come away with field goals.
9-0. I think, how do we set the tone here? Who's going to set it the second half? The ball is 80 yards away. Excellent field position as far as the defense for Virginia Tech is concerned. Can they stop the Pitt Panthers? By the same token, can John Ryan leave them down the football field and change the field position?
So 1st and 10 on their first possession in the second half. It's Patton West to the backfield. Billy West quickly with a call. Doesn't have a lot of room and maybe gets a yard.
You notice that when you stretch them east to west, Mike, you can't stop the flow of the Virginia Tech defense getting over there. Just exactly what they want happen. Billy West had no place to go.
Westo overall is Torian Gray in on that stop. You've got to like, again, the injury, he's obviously better with the shoulder and the collarbone, but you have to worry about conditioning, and he's looked like he's in very good shape.
Well, you'll think about it. It doesn't hurt your legs. You can run. I'm sure he did a lot of running. I don't think he's out of shape at all. It's very apparent that he isn't. It's just the contact.
From missing the football condition, so the contact.
Sometimes it's nice to miss that stuff, Mike. Believe me.
He doesn't miss contact that time, but still gets a pretty good gain. George Del Rico.
We always call it fresh legs and fresh body. They're very attractive. He's been banged around for a month. Now, a well-coordinated defense. You see how we just turn that play back inside, and things like that are what make it go. Big series right here, 3rd down and 3. They stop him here, and they can change the momentum in the second half as it starts.
Those are West's numbers. Patton is his fullback. Check that, Schneider. Ryan throws, complete to Gels for the first down, and he gets out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Larry Green on the coverage, but not before enough to get that first.
Now, poise, what Kenny was talking about. John Ryan will maintain it. Very nice and easy. Big 3rd down and 3 play, and they just make it an easy first down. Pitch and catch, move the chains, and they've declared momentum with a first down. Gels change the field position. 65 yards to go.
Gels' 3rd catch of the game. Billy West the call again, and a few yards. Simonis, one of those in on the stop, along with Waverly Jackson. You had a chance to speak with Johnny Majors yesterday. Talked about the importance of today's game. Johnny Majors knows it's crucial.
This is the most important football game that we've played so far, without question. The first conference game, as important as those first 4 were, we don't have a chance for a national championship, but this game is significant because it's the first start of our conference year, and I think the conference is wide open. Whether we're good enough to be even in the middle, it's too early to tell. I hope we can make progress, and much less whether we're good enough to compete with the top echelon.
Ryan on the pump fake throws the incomplete pass.
What he did was throw it away very, very smartly. He had a slant going on to the outside receiver. The linebacker could overcover it, moved out of the pocket, didn't have anything. Now it's 3rd down and 10. Still no problem. Hasn't given Virginia Tech any life. We still haven't got a sack, even with 2 offensive linemen being replaced.
They had 6 sacks last week against Miami, and not only sacks, but Ryan hasn't felt a lot of heat most of the afternoon.
Well, everything is so deliberate, so on time, so timed that it's very, very difficult for the Virginia Tech to really harass him.
Well, he didn't like that look as he approached the line of scrimmage, so Pittsburgh has to take their first time out here in the second half.
And John Majors doesn't like him to have to take a timeout to talk these things over.
9-0 lead for Johnny Majors' Panthers. We're still early in the 3rd quarter in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, along with Dick McPherson, I'm Mike Breen, our producer Paul Carlson, director Jim Edmonds, and a terrific crew on hand on a beautiful day.
Here's a 30% play against Virginia Tech. 3rd down and long. Can they make it happen?
7 yards for the first down. 3 wide receivers in the game for the Panthers.
Momentum changer either way. Very, very significant play.
A blitz, quick handoff to West. Great call, and Billy West has the first down.
They had a corner blitz on.
Lauren Johnson was coming in.
Now, watch Jim Del Rico come in on the inside, but that's one of the most dangerous plays in football because they ran a trap, a draw up the middle, just as they were running a blitz. Great call, both teams, but tremendous execution by Pitt.
West over the 100-yard mark. Terrific average per carry as well. And more importantly, they keep the football now at their own 49. Schneider on a quick handoff, maybe a yard. Let's go to our Big East studios right now. John Sanders keeping an eye on Boston College and Michigan State.
In the closing seconds, Mike, only 7 seconds before halftime, Mark Hartzell from the 3, sets, waits, fires. Dennis Harding at the other end for the touchdown. They went for 2 and made it. It's 15-9 BC, leading Michigan State. Back to Pitt.
The last play, Lawrence Lewis just made a great hit. And I think those are the kind of things that keep Virginia Tech in the game. They're wonderful, fundamental defensive football play.
Ryan, a quick drop on a fake, tries downfield for Mark Butler, but great coverage. Lauren Johnson, the freshman, right there along with Simonis, and he does the smart thing, throws it away.
Again, tremendous coverage. They rolled over the top on the thing, and they emphasized that you're allowed to push the receiver out of bounds in defensive football in college, but by the same token, he could come back in and still be eligible for the football play. So I think we had double coverage on the pumping up that they had on. Excellent defensive call, anticipating something like that happening.
3rd and 9. They split out 3 receivers on the far side. Sadiq Durham now goes in motion. And there's whistles as more movement. Virginia Tech ready on the big pass rush.
It has to be an offensive or defensive up front call because there was still 2 seconds left to go. It's an offensive, it's a movement in the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Johnny Majors does not like his team picking up its 7th penalty of the afternoon. It's again a team that has been pretty good so far through the first 4 games of avoiding a lot of penalties. And they now have a 3rd and 14.
Another big series. Last time they blitzed on it. Let's see what kind of coverage they're going to have. Widespread shotgun formation. Right, Mike?
4 wide receivers. Again, they try the West, and he goes nowhere. Quickly brought down. Cornell Brown.
Now, what I was talking about before, see, Cornell Brown, Simones, all these people are firing up the defense. They've changed the thing around. The ball is on the 45-yard line.
Brown got banged up earlier, but certainly a big play right there.
You knew he'd be back the way he went off.
Ryan still back to receive. Nate Cochran a punt. And it's blocked. Angelo Harrison appeared to get it. Virginia Tech recovers. Harrison on a block punt last week against Miami. He does it again this afternoon.
You know, you've got to admire the tenacity, the way they play fundamental football at Virginia Tech. Down 9-0, and now all we have to do is check again. It's all protection. The rhythm is slow, but not bad. You must protect the punter. You've got to give him more time to get the ball off.
Their 3rd block punt of the season.
Here's where it's coming, an inside move, all the way from the outside. Great technique by moving the thing around.
This is the best start of the day in terms of field position for Virginia Tech.
That's usually the way it is with a block punt.
Dwayne Thomas maybe a yard. And they need to put some points on the board. There's Angelo Harrison again, had the big block last week. Special teams player supreme.
Well, you know, he's got to have great quickness, great speed, because he has tremendous technique, well coached. They work hard on that. It certainly has paid off. This is a game changer, momentum changer right here.
2nd down and 8.
Plenty of time. Still 8 seconds left on the clock.
Change in the play. And Thomas finally breaks free. Gets the 1st down and plenty more. Down to the 15-yard line. First time he's really broken free.
Now we're inside the 20-yard line. Now a statement is made again by Dwayne. They're powering right at you with the lead back. Great block by your fullback. Nobody's going to take him down one-on-one. He's running over people. 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. Now let's see if they can punch the ball in the end zone. If they do, we've got a tremendous consideration here for a momentum changer for the game.
That was a 13-yard pickup, his longest of the game. And he gets the call again. It has some room. A blocker with still ahead. Thomas knocked out. They call touchdown. Virginia Tech is in on a beautiful run from Dwayne Thomas, a 15-yard gallop.
You know, when you get Dwayne Thomas out in the open field, you better cut the legs out from under him because you're not going to stop him from forward progress. Now again, all you have to do is touch that pylon, and that's the signal for the official to raise his hands, touchdown. See how cool and determined he is? See the ball come right across the pylon? Take it with you, touchdown.
And Bryan still with a super block.
His excitement back in the game. Larson's kicking again, Mike.
Atle Larsen, who has really struggled from a field goal standpoint, but perfect there on the extra point. And the Hokies on the board. Dwayne Thomas, a 15-yard run. He struggled in the first half, only 19 yards in the first half, but on the last two he picked up 28, and Virginia Tech scores.
John Sanders back in the Big East studio. We'll take you back to Pitt in just a moment. First, an update on the LSU South Carolina game. First touchdown of the afternoon for LSU. It's Jamie Howard with the pass play. For LSU, the Tigers, he goes to Eddie Kennison. Kennison gets to the one that sets up a touchdown run that gave him a 10-7 lead. That game is now tied 10-10 in the second quarter. Let's go back to Pitt now, and Mike and Dick, gentlemen.
Atle Larsen to kick off. Virginia Tech gets on the board here early third quarter. They still trail 9-7. Mark Butler is back deep for Pittsburgh. Fields it and loses it. At his own 8, starts to run, gets away from a couple of tacklers, and is finally surrounded. Knocked down Jomo Nelson in on the stop, along with Akisa Smith.
Now again, linebacker penetrating, which takes him out of the pursuit. The fullback takes him on, and runs away from the inside corner, and then runs right over somebody right into the end zone. It's exactly what he should do. Takes the pylon with him. Touchdown, very, very legitimate.
Stills block on Denoris Mosley. Certainly key in getting that ball in the end zone as Thomas starting to come alive.
I think Brian Edmonds, number 32 at fullback, made the big block on the linebacker and stopped the penetration to get him going to the outside.
They'll start at their own 10. Pittsburgh, their worst start at field position of the day. As West keeps his balance and somehow gets 3 or 4 yards. He appears like he's going down several times and then he keeps going.
Yeah, I think the thing that they're doing, they're stretching him, making him run to the sidelines rather than upfield. And when they're doing that, they've negated him a little bit because he's coming upfield and making people miss and then getting into the secondary a little quicker.
Second and 7.
Frank Beamer likes the start of the second half. The offense struggling in the first 2 quarters, but Angelo Harrison blocked that punt, and boy, did that turn things around. Number 83 right there. He's allowed to talk to the coach after the block.
Yeah. You notice Frank smiling at whatever you say, son, I'm for. I like you, Angelo.
Second and 7. Butler has it, and he's got the first down up to about the 24. Lauren Johnson brings him down, but they get another first down. And right now, let's take a look at our John Hancock out-of-town scores, brought to you by John Hancock, official worldwide sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. We've got a good one right here at Pitt Stadium. Big East opener for the Panthers. Virginia Tech opened up their conference play in style with a win over Miami last week.
The efficiency of the offense of Pitt has been tremendous all day. They're pretty much mistake-free and know exactly what they're doing. The special teams, again, have been the key to this whole thing.
West immediately hit behind the line of scrimmage from Cornell Brown. And a no gain, perhaps a loss on the play. Brown's starting to make some big plays.
I think what's happening here, you're seeing a complete turnaround attitude-wise. They're a little bit more enthusiastic, and there are a lot more white shirts coming around the football, and they're getting excited again. So I think these are the things that make for good defense. But you can't rattle Pitt Panthers under the leadership of John Ryan, which makes a tremendous difference. I think you watch the poise they have, which impresses me as they get into that Big East season after a 2-2 start.
Ryan's got to call another timeout. That's their second one already in the second half. And they have just one remaining.
With a 9-7 ball game, you like to keep your timeouts to the end. These things hurt, but there's some confusion out here. I don't know what's going on.
So Johnny Majors and his quarterback to discuss things. They still lead 9-7 in the third. Virginia Tech trailing, and of course their head coach Frank Beamer plead with the victory over Miami last week, and he knows they're the hunted, and it also knows it's a great race.
Well, I do think the league is wide open. Miami's still very talented. I think they'll have a chance to beat everyone else in the league, to be honest with you. And since we beat them, I think it gave us an opportunity to get back in it. How important that win was will be determined, I think, by what we do from here on out. If we take advantage of it and build on it and become a better football team, then I think we're right in the thick of the Big East race.
J.C. Price with the pressure to force the incomplete pass, but a flag thrown on the play, and it looks like it's going to go against the Pitt Panthers.
You know, that's just exactly what you want a quarterback to do. Get rid of the football.
Flag.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Makes me feel better already. I like that. Put that flag away. Let's play football. John did just exactly what his coach do. Nobody open. Get rid of the football. No sack. Play football. Second down, which will. I think these are the kind of things that we need, and I'm impressed with the way John Ryan is playing. He's coached well. The thing I don't like about him is the 2 timeouts that he's taken. Other than that, I thought he's done a good job out there.
He's got a 3rd and 12. 5 wide receivers in the game. Ryan in the shotgun with no setbacks. Here comes the rush. Throw almost intercepted by Larry Green. Intended for Gels.
I'll tell you, Larry Green was walking in the end zone, just forgot to take the football with him. He was excited. It was there. Now, John made a bad throw there, but did you see the backside pressure is what caused it? The backside pressure is what causes the thing. See it right there? He felt that pressure on the backside and had to get rid of it. But Larry came over there well and almost had it.
Cornell Brown among those in the backfield. Cochran back on to punt again.
The momentum again is returned to...
Almost blocked again. Ryan still is back, but he's not going to get near the punt. As another terrific special teams play by Virginia Tech, putting the pressure on. 30-yard punt. Excellent field position for the Hokies.
The thing about it is that Nate Cochran will not be punting well the rest of the day because the pressure's on him. He's going to be peaking. He's going to be out of rhythm and the whole thing. Amazing what's happening.
Well, that time it was not a terrific snap for Cochran. Actually, no, I changed that. He just didn't handle it well.
It's an excellent snap. It's just what I'm talking about. He's a little nervous and trying to hurry and not catching the football. They've got him rattled. That's the thing that you want to do with your special teams.
Ryan Edmonds trying to get outside, but brought down by Mosley after a short pickup. That was Okisa Smith that time that nearly blocked that punt on that last punt from Cochran.
You know, I think that's what you got to like about Dwayne Thomas. He's a great eye running back, puts himself in a split back set, does a tremendous job of blocking, leading for his fullback, who does Edmonds. Brian does so much for him. It's kind of like a payback. But to be very honest with you, I'd rather see Dwayne carrying the ball than Brian blocking.
Edmonds has done a good job when he does get his opportunities to carry, but he's made some nice holes for Thomas. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard pickup. Play action. Druckenmiller whack, fires downfield. Incomplete, intended for still Mosley right there on the coverage. And David Sumner on the blitz, knocking Druckenmiller on his back.
I think that, again, that Jim Druckenmiller stays right in there, throws the ball the way it should be thrown. I think these are outstanding traits that he has. Good fake, gets back and lets it fly right in the face of it. But now you see it's a hurry, it's everything else. I think he slowed the football down from getting down there. He actually touched the arm of Jim Druckenmiller.
3rd down and 8. 4 wide receivers in for Virginia Tech, 6 defensive backs for the Panthers. Druckenmiller, quick throw to Michael Williams. He's short of the first down. Tumulty in on the stop along with Darrell Cash.
That's a great courage catch, by the way, in that situation. You got to hand it to Michael. I think you should have a little bit more depth on this thing because you're throwing right into a zone, bunch of wolves right there. You might make the catch, but you're going to pay for it. And he sure does.
So Cash and Mike Hallopin actually in on the stop on that one. As we have a Panther down. Cash a little shaken up after the hard hit. The senior from California. So 4th down and 2. So John Thomas comes back on.
It's a punting game going back and forth, but look at the field position that Virginia Tech has. Now they've got to keep him pinned down in here. But if you notice that we're not getting the same pressure on the Virginia Tech kicker, which makes him able to place it a little bit better, keep it up in the air, out of the end zone, out of the end zone.
Well, Thomas puts a little too much on a long punt, 45-yarder. Pittsburgh will take over.
I want to emphasize that 45-yarder is not as good as the one we talked about as 28. The other one went on the 14. This one's out of the end zone that brings it out to the 20. Not bad field position, but better job.
Here at Pitt Stadium, John Ryan, the quarterback, a senior, has had his ups and downs, but has become the leader. And look at the numbers. He is now the 5th leading passer in Pitt history. Throwing a lot of touchdowns He's had some problems with interceptions, but he's really curbed that. Certainly this afternoon has not thrown any. Those are the numbers for today. He'll take over at his own 20, first down and 10. Quick drop again. Complete. Butler runs out of bounds at about the 27. Good pickup there on that.
You know, it'd be fun to talk to John Ryan, because I bet he just loves playing for Kenny Karcher, because Kenny has done a great job of stabilizing. All the good fundamentals of a quarterback are there. And Ken Karcher, by John Majors, was promoted to offensive coordinator because of it. And you've got to give him credit here. It's 9-7.
Ryan,
it's a real smooth-looking outfit. Two good football teams, Big East football teams, great contest.
2nd and 3 after that 7-yard pass play. Billy West a few yards shy of the first down, or so it appears. Number of Hokies in on that tackle, including Lawrence Lewis. West a little slow getting up. Certainly not a good sign.
Oh boy, yeah.
He looks like he is in a lot of pain.
Oh boy. You don't like to see that of a guy of his caliber, you know? He's hurting somewhere.
Missed the last 3 games with the dislocated collarbone suffered in the season opener. He has been such a great story last year. Big East Offensive Player of the Year. This is the type of thing where you hope it's just cramps.
Well, no, I don't think it is. We're talking about the shoulder. And now we're going to ask our producers, see if we can get a replay so we can watch this thing coming in there, Mike, and see how it's coming from. Here it is right here. Now we'll be able to watch him come in here.
Really impossible to tell on that, but he was whacked by a number.
Yeah, I think we're talking about it's not his shoulder, it's down to the lower body, and I think he got the knee twisted up a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. You notice they're not working on it to see if it's severed, and he's all right. That's it. Go shake it off.
A little ginger on that knee, though, or an ankle. Doesn't want to put any pressure on it.
Now, if you talk to show the respect they have at a conference, you see the Virginia Tech players out there in the field. You notice that on the screen? They were cheering and clapping themselves to show the guy what a great effort. This is what's great about football. You have the mutual respect and no taunting, just playing the game.
Absolutely. 3rd and 1. On a reverse. Gels has got the first down or more, and a penalty marker thrown. He's across the 40-yard line. Lauren Johnson brought him down. May have gotten a piece of the face mask.
Excellent call with everybody bunched to the inside. Excellent call.
Good fake by Ryan. Gels tries to outrun Lauren Johnson. Maybe.
You know, Brandon was trying to get into the football play when Simone's had that backside. You know, he had the backside reverse. If he'd have just kept care of his responsibilities, he would walk right into it.
It's the deep. Tapped on to the end of the run.
So a 5-yard face mask penalty. And the ball brought up just shy of the 45-yard line. Gels
now you'll
down.
see the face mask coming up right here in the replay. We're seeing him come back to the wide receiver. Just stripping him all the way down. And, you know, actually, when we're talking about Lauren Johnson, he's only a freshman. But he did whatever he had to do to stop the guy. He was the Lone Ranger out there all by himself. Smart play by the defensive freshman, number 12, Lauren Johnson out of Florida, Virginia Tech player.
See Gels' numbers so far 95, and he was a little shaken up on that play, so he will come out. So back-to-back stars for Pitt. West and Gels have to take to the sidelines. 1st and 10, however, is midfield.
First down for the Panthers.
And another quick drop. Fires complete to Butler. Butler's got plenty of room. Still on his feet. Butler's down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds at the 14. Brandon Simonis finally tracks him down. But a big 37-yard pickup for Pittsburgh.
You can hear it. You can hear it. They've reignited the Pitt offense. The Pitt fans are back in the football game. Now, I think what we're talking about here, just a tremendous reception and then the run after the catch. Those are the things that count. A lot of great block. There's another great block right there coming into the picture, all across the foot.
Sadiq Durham with a nice hit to help out his fellow wide
Bull
receiver.
Durham is making his name known here today, isn't he?
First down at the Virginia Tech 17. Chris Patton tries to cut inside and swarm. J.C. Price among those to hit him. So Patton getting the call with West over on the sidelines. Also see Demetrius Harris come back in the game now. Second and 10. And there you see Mosley. Apparently his wrist or hand. So Pitt injuries. Mosley, West, and Chels here in the last couple of minutes. They call it 2nd and 11 actually. Quick throw. Butler again, but he goes nowhere. Lauren Johnson right there on the coverage. Let's go to our Big East studios. Good game going on between LSU and South Carolina. John Sanders, what's up?
Well, just as a block kick there, Mike got the Hokies back in the ball game. Here's a block kick. Chad Kessler trying to kick the football, but it's blocked by the Gamecocks. It'll be picked up by Lee Wiggins. He takes it down to the 9. They scored a touchdown from there to take the lead at halftime, 17-10. Let's go back to Pitt.
3rd and 4 for
12-yard line.
They lead 9-7. It was 9-0 at halftime.
They've got to get in the end zone one of these times with a touchdown.
Ryan throws, complete. And he's got the first down. Butler's come up big on this series. Good sharp pass from Ryan once again.
When you get somebody hot, go right after.
Butler, the junior from California, his 5th catch of the afternoon.
You know, you're talking again is that Lauren Johnson is the freshman receiver over here. They're very wisely picking on him. These are tough times.
This is the 8th play of the drive. 1st and goal of the 6. Demetrius Harris, maybe a yard. Gang tackled, thrown backwards. Cornell Brown in on the stop.
Now, where are we with Billy West? Is he still out of the ball game? Is he going to be back in? Or where is he sitting?
He's on the cart.
He's on the cart.
They're going to take him off along with Mosley.
Yeah. They've got the injury situation hurt him right here because he'd be a very, very effective man down here. 2nd down. Goal line offense. Goal line defense.
2nd and goal. That's Butler in motion.
Play action.
Ryan under a little pressure. Lost the football. Recovered by Harris. They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
I think that the official was kind of hurried to call this thing. Watch this thing slip out of his hand. He dropped it. Now the ball should be on the 10-yard line instead of on the 5-yard line. That's why they make these big plays. They recovered it very wisely. But by the same token, it should be 5-yard penalty on the thing.
He was in the throwing motion, Dick, but he wasn't throwing it. It was more of a pump there. It just dropped the football.
Just dropped it.
And there's Mosley and West heading off. 3rd and goal at the 5. 5 wide receivers. Ryan the shotgun pumps, fires, incomplete, and a flag on the play. Sadiq Durham was the intended receiver, and he may have gotten bumped.
Number 82, Sadiq Durham. Penalty flag is down.
Now the penalty.
And that's what it is.
End zone comes out to the 2-yard line. 1st down in college football.
Pass interference on the defense.
I would like to see that again.
The actual contact came.
I'd like to see the end of the play. Watch it up again. Here it comes.
The contact apparently came before that. If there was, George Del Rico was there.
Yeah.
1st down and goal at the 2. Butler goes in motion. Snyder, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chris Snyder with the score.
They went to the fullback. They went to the power play on the thing.
The freshman from Trafford, Pennsylvania, gives Pittsburgh their first score in terms of touchdown of the game.
You know, again, 6'1", 240, a redshirt freshman. It was a nice call offensively because they went to that power runner to get it in with a short yardage back.
The freshman Ferencik adds the extra point. And Pittsburgh back up on top, 16-7. The penalty certainly key there.
Now, for all the purists out there that like to see a great football play, just power. Look at those rear ends. Just look at those legs driving and just bringing the guy right over. The fullback kept his legs going because I think we had a defensive player coming all the way across the line of scrimmage to try to make a big play out.
His second career touchdown.
J.C. Price gives you the effort all the time. All the time.
Schneider, only his 10th carry of his short career, and a freshman.
We are coming to play ball, baby.
At 20.
We are coming to play ball.
The Deep Durham lets everyone know what Pittsburgh means. Well, Schneider had 23 touchdowns as a senior in high school last year and comes up big with his second touchdown as a Pitt Panther.
I think that, you know, down 9 points, big touchdown, you know, for Pitt.
Billy West has a ankle injury, the left ankle, so he's going to have x-ray. Norris Mosley has a right finger injury. He's going to be x-rayed. There you see West going off. That was a little bit earlier. Demetrius Harris also twisted his ankle. Check that. That's being brought off right now. So West perhaps done for the day. And Demetrius Harris twisted his ankle. He's being attended to right now as well, although still behind the bench.
And the wide receiver, Dietrich Jells, is another one that got hurt. So
short kick, Dwayne Thomas at his own 18. Has a little room, runs into his own blockers, and scrambles up to about the 33. Let's go again to our Big East studios. And John Sanders. John.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. The Bulldogs trying to punch it in against Alabama, but right there is Corrine Christie being stuffed at the line by Deshae Townsend and company. And right now it is all Alabama. They are on top in the third quarter by a score of 17-0. Let's head back to Pitt and Mike and Dick.
Gene Stallings looking for the road win. Virginia Tech trying to come from behind on the road. They trail 16-7 late here in the third.
Yeah, they've got to answer the call. This is a big drive for them. Just answer the score with a score and get the crowd back out of the game because they're all excited for what's happening here right now.
Druckenmiller connects with Brian Still. Pickup of maybe 4 or 5. Rashad Whitnell on the stop. And there's the scoring drive with their first touchdown. There's the man who did it. Number 32, Chris Schneider, on a 2-yard run.
You know, that 10-play drive, 80 yards. They've had 2 great long drives and scoring drives today.
Shouldn't say run, more of a plow. 2-yard plow.
Chris will take it any way he can.
Druckenmiller himself breaks a couple of tackles and pitches out. Oxendine. And Anthony Dorsett saves a touchdown, but not before a big play for Virginia Tech. 35-yard pickup.
Again, we're going to the option to the weak side, and Jim Druckenmiller does a great job with it. Turns the football field, makes the guy come in from the outside in the corner, makes the pitch outside. And only the great speed of Dorsett over there. I thought sure Kenny was going to go all the way, but Dorsett came over and got him with the tremendous speed that he has. I wonder where he got it from.
That'll be proud on that play. All the way down now to the Pittsburgh 30-yard line. Nowhere to go for Oxendine. So it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
You know, the Virginia Tech has not slowed down a bit. They're all well. They're all live. Everybody's playing hard. This is still a tremendous football game. Pitt is getting beat up a little bit during the ball game here. So if they can make this drive and put it in, it's going to be a very, very interesting game. I'm tremendously impressed with the level of competition in the Big East. You know, we're lucky, Mike, to be going to some great games each and every week here.
Got a good one next week as well. Pittsburgh at Boston College, but still a lot of time. And here on this one, Druckenmiller fires. Brian still has a little bit of room and appears to have the first down. Jay Jones on the tackle as he's up near the 20.
Now again, you're talking about a counter flow football play, faking over here, and then all the linemen coming out to meet you. Brian takes the football, waits for the right trap block, moves inside the trap, and moves right back outside again. 1st and 10. Do it again. Here they are on the 20-yard line.
There's still had some big plays last week. Had a 47-yard hookup. That was key. He's their big play receiver. There's his numbers for this afternoon.
That one catch that he had wide open, remember, that he dropped.
Yep.
Brian, that was one that we were always looking at. Thank God they won the game, so his actification.
Oxendine gets a few before he's brought down. Tyler Young in on another stop. Young very active this afternoon. This is exactly what Virginia Tech needed, as you see Oxendine's numbers. After that score, you can see or at least feel they were a little deflated, down 16-7. They needed this kind of drive.
Well, you know, Ivan Maisel, we talked about it, the great college football writer talked about, you know, Kenny Oxendine and Dwayne Thomas, both tailbacks, probably the two best. They can pound at you all day, and Frank Beeman loves to run that football at you and weigh you down, and look what happens in the 4th quarter.
2nd and 7. Druckenmiller looks downfield, fires, almost intercepted. John Jenkins right there, intended for Jermaine Holmes. That was nowhere near Holmes, however.
I think that if Jim didn't have his 90-mile-an-hour speed fastball on there, that might have been intercepted. This is a strong-arm football player.
So a 3rd and 7 coming up.
No huddle offense. No huddle offense, Mike.
Virginia Tech just 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. Big play right here. Druckenmiller fires. Incomplete, intended for Jennings, a tight end. Jay Jones there to break it up. 4th down coming up for the Hokies.
Now, take your field goal. Don't take any chances, because now you go to 16-10. Here's Mr. Larsen coming back in as a kicker.
Jay Jones right there.
All he has to do is haul that ball in. Don't worry about where you're going to run and what's happening around you. Excellent throw. Excellent call.
Atle Larsen is just 2 for 8 in field goals this year. He does have a career long of 48. Had a 44-yarder last week, but he's been very inconsistent.
I guarantee he'll make this one. He's got to make one of them.
This from 34 yards out. As Larsen nails it.
There's the celebration. No. Look at him run off. It looks like he thought he was going to make it.
So Atle Larsen gets back the points. It's now 16-10, and even though they certainly would have liked to score, just to get the field goal is important.
Well, you had to get this point sometime.
John Thomas, the holder.
Bad snap. Look, he's grabbing it all the way around, getting the ball down, getting his hand away, spinning the thing around. Just gets his hand away, and whoop.
That's a great job of holding right there off the bad snap.
I think he's got that great job of handling the football.
Right.
I'm not sure about holding. He's still pulling it away a little bit.
Well, that's one of his problems last week. He was 2 of 6 against Miami. And you spotted it, that Thomas tends to take his hand away just a little too soon.
Well, it was a bad snap. They've got a lot of problems with their PAT field goal things. Don't forget, we're talking about protection, we're talking about the snap, we're talking about the hole, and we're talking about the kicker. And that's 4 elements that have to be taking place here. And so Larsen isn't the only one, but I think we've got a lot of work to do with our punter, because he certainly has got to do a better job in terms of holding it right there.
That's Thomas. Again, the leading punter in the Big East coming into this weekend's action, and also does the holding. 16-10 now. Pittsburgh in front. Final minute of the 3rd quarter here at Pitt Stadium. Panthers at 2-2. This their conference opener. There's the scoring drive for the Hokies.
See, 8 plays, 49 yards. Again, I think we've had a couple of drops by the Virginia Tech receivers that are awful hard to overcome at times. Number of them come first down inside the 5-yard line, and that's all we need. Let's go from there.
Butler back to receive.
We must clean that thing up as we go. Now 16-10. Kickoff. Now again, they answered with a score. Now Pitt has got to answer with a score to keep this thing going, because we can't let Virginia Tech get any life, which they've just got from an offensive standpoint.
Although Pitt banged up, a number of their skilled position players hurt on that last series. Butler's going to take it out. Doesn't have a lot of room and finds some, and finally nailed at about the 15. That's where the Panthers will take over.
Now, you know, Butler's got to know where he is a little bit more. That's at high, deep. The sun is in his eye. Very difficult to handle. And remember, in college football, you don't have to take the ball out of the end zone. They can't recover it in there. Stay in there with the ball. Ball's on the 15-yard line, 85 to go.
Pittsburgh in the second half has not started off well. From their own 20, then their 10, the 20 again, and now the 15. They had excellent field position to start off in the first half. That has not been the case in the second half.
And that makes an awful lot of difference. I want to thank our statistician for making sure we get that stuff.
John Butera doing a terrific job. Chris Patton gets the call. Does a lot of running, doesn't go really anywhere. A loss on the play. Cornell Brown with excellent pursuit. Let's go back to John Sanders. BC Michigan State action going on in our Big East studio. John?
And they are in East Lansing, and Mark Hartzell driving the Eagles. He goes to Michael Hemmert in the end zone, a 4-yard strike. They missed the 2-point conversion, but lead it 21-9 at Michigan State. Let's go back to Pitt.
Thank you, John. Boston College could use the road win. We'll see them next week. They're at home against these Pitt Panthers.
And by the looks of the game here today, with these two fine football teams, I think that Pitt is going to give BC all they want, too.
They're giving Virginia Tech all they want as the third quarter comes to an end at Pitt Stadium. Panthers lead the Hokies 16-10. Pittsburgh in their Big East Conference opener looking to be part of this wild race in the '95 season.
In the Big East studio, an update on the West Virginia game. Chad Johnston is out of that lineup with an injured knee. That means that Eric Boykin is now quarterbacking for the Mountaineers as they try to battle back against East Carolina. Let's show you how they are getting back in the game, because it's Boykin looking for David Saunders. Good setup in the pocket, fires the ball down the middle, and he is behind his defender and on his way to a touchdown. That cuts the lead to 5. It's 20-15 there. Let's go back to Pitt for the fourth quarter. Mike and Dick.
Final quarter set to begin at Pitt Stadium. It's been a good battle thus far. Pittsburgh leading 16-10. The Panthers have the ball at their own 12-yard line, second and 13.
Got to find a way to get out of it right now.
Schneider and Patton the setbacks. West and Harris have both been injured. West is back in the locker room. Ryan, quick drop, connects. Butler, though, lost it on the hit from Johnson. Good play from the freshman, who's been very active. He took over last week the starting lineup for Antonio Banks, and he's played well.
Well, it's amazing how well he's played for a freshman, and believe me, they're working him. Kenny Koch is going right after him.
After 3 quarters, those are the numbers. Just the 1 turnover, and that was Druckenmiller's interception early on. The rushing yardage certainly in favor of Pittsburgh.
Well, look at the third quarter, though, from where it was at the half and what Virginia Tech has done. They've changed the ball game. So far, the second half belongs to Virginia Tech, even though the Pitt Panthers have scored a touchdown.
3rd and 13. Ryan under pressure. Almost intercepted by Yarbrough. Excellent coverage on Sadiq Durham. That was a rifle throw from Ryan.
And a rifle attack on the ball by Yarbrough. Now we're talking about field position again coming to the Virginia Tech Hokies. Again, making a mistake, coming out of the end zone. Hit the ball back there and then a loss on the first down.
Nate Cochran, the junior from Florence, South Carolina, has had a busy afternoon.
Now he's got to take his time and make sure he gets the ball away.
Another block. Angelo Harrison did it again. His second block of the game. And Virginia Tech special teams come through once again.
I'll tell you.
That's his 3rd block of a punt in the past 2 weeks.
Yes. Frank Beam will smile again on him when he goes to the sideline. But again, we're talking about the coaching. Did you notice how the Virginia Tech people are staying away from this kick? Watch it just down there, because now they know it's their football. See, they stay all away from it. The only people, nothing bad can happen to them. It's their football. Yeah. It's protection. It's not the punter. It's not the snap. It's not the punter's fault at all, but he's got to speed it up a little bit.
He's not blocking it with his hands, with his belly. Druckenmiller holds on as Moody on the stop. A big turnaround again. Both the blocks from Harrison have come here in the second half. Angelo Harrison blocked the punt last week against Miami and has blocked 2 here this afternoon. I wonder who's going to be the Big East Conference Special Teams Player of the Week.
Again, now we're talking about a no-huddle offense inside the goal line. They're keeping these people in the football game in a passing situation. They had the tough guys in. Now they're making them cover. Very good move offensively by the Virginia Tech team.
2nd and 10. Druckenmiller kicks it inside to Edmonds. Edmonds still going. Good run down to about the 13-yard line. Whitmill on the stop.
You know, the poise of these football teams is a tremendous advantage to the coaching staff. I mean, you got to give the coaches a lot of credit the way these kids handle themselves.
Edmonds seemed to maybe
now,
got hit.
You talk about him moving inside. That's his game. Brian can run well there.
3rd and 4 from the 14. Thomas immediately thrown down. John McCray with a big hit. 4th down coming up. And Atle Larsen will have to try another field goal.
You can see the fundamentals of Western PA football, of Big East football. There's some very, very sound, solid tackle. Knees bent, butt down, head up, wrapping around.
33-yarder for Larsen. And he nails it again. So Larsen, who has struggled this season, 2 for 2 today.
You know, Frank Beamer says all week, I trust my kid. I know he's good. He's proven it to him.
16-13. Larsen pulls Virginia Tech within 3 here in the 4th. Today's Big East game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And John Hancock, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Games. The senior linebacker from Akron, Ohio, comes up with a big play to make sure Virginia Tech is forced a field goal attempt.
Here's what we talked about before, Mike. Just look at that drive, the butt down, and just making sure that the guy goes back from whence he came. No forward progress. Now that forced him into a field goal situation, very wisely Frank Beamer took it. 16-13, 12:42 to go kickoff.
Larsen. A very short kick. Butler at his own 11. Mark Butler's got a lot of room. And thrown down. Jomo Nelson on the tackle. Butler with a solid return. 24-yard return. Good field position for Pittsburgh.
You know, 87 really exploded. He jetted into the thing. And Jomo Nelson coming over like he did. It shows another guy can add speed, because there was a possibility of that thing going all the way.
There's a scoring drive that came about after the second block punt of the second half from Angelo Harrison. 1st and 10 at their own 35. Ryan on 1st down. Gives it out to Patton, who can't hold on. And Patton getting a lot of time. Billy West brought back to the locker room with an ankle injury. Demetrius Harris also injured his ankle and has not returned since.
Just don't get too nervous. Just relax. Catch the ball before you do anything. Everybody's trying to hurry everything. There's one man there. Everybody else was cleaned out. A great call on offense. Wonderfully executed except for the catch.
2nd and 10. Still early 4th quarter. Pittsburgh leading 16-13. Ryan lobs it, nowhere to go. Prelo, the freshman, with some terrific coverage on Butler. Let's go back out to East Lansing and find out what's going on out there. It's John Sanders back in our Big East studio. John?
Well, Michigan State trying to come back, Mike. This is a 4-yard pass play. Schultz goes to Marcus Chapman. This is his first collegiate reception. It's good for a touchdown, and Michigan State is right back in it. 21-16 at East Lansing. Let's see if Pitt can hang on in Pittsburgh, gentlemen.
3rd and 10, and a quick kick. Cochran nails it, and it's going to go in the end zone on the 3rd and 10. 65-yard punt, but it'll come back to the 20-yard line. That's where Virginia Tech will take over. 12 minutes, 18 seconds remaining, 4th quarter in Pittsburgh. Virginia Tech trailing with the football.
Burger King presents the first ever college football Top 10 Fans Poll, where you, the fan, vote for who's #1. For the 5th straight week, the #1 team is Florida State. Go to Burger King and find out how you can make your team #1.
Cochran has had 2 punts blocked in the second half. How do you avoid that? You punt on 3rd down.
I think that, again, when number 38 comes into the game, you ought to be able to taste something a little bit. He's the punter, and we haven't seen him at tailback. He's lined up. They should have been a little bit more alerted for it. And John is not going to allow him to block any more punters today. He's going to change that field position around.
Virginia Tech takes over at their own 20. They trail 16-13. Druckenmiller kicks it out to Thomas. Maybe a 3-yard pickup. Anthony Dorsett right there on the stop.
You know, this number 12, Tony Dorsett, has turned into an excellent defensive. From where he started, I've watched the young man because of his dad. You know, he's taking this challenge on. He's a pretty doggone good corner now. He's coming a long way.
Started off, special teams slowly has developed. He's already had 2 interceptions this year. Really improved.
Yes, it's nice to see.
2nd and 7. Druckenmiller to throw, under pressure. He's got some room to run. And he runs for the first down. Smart move from Druckenmiller. Gets out about the 34, but not before picking up the first.
Just want to make sure that everybody understands what John Majors did. He's having trouble with his punting game. He put in number 38, Nate Cochran, as a tailback and quick kicked him down there. It was almost an excellent field position thing, but they still gained a lot of field position and didn't give Virginia Tech any more life in terms of lining up for the punt, because the punter, Nate, is a little nervous right now. 1st and 10.
12-yard scamper for Druckenmiller. Under pressure again, and is quickly brought down. Tumulty with another big play. He's certainly made his share in his Pitt career.
Well, I think again, we've seen the defense where they scrape the linebacker to go on the quarterback here. He just continued right on to the fake. So Tom is it's a wonderful defensive ploy by Chuck Dreisbeck to get this thing done. Now, if he runs a play action, you continue right on. It hurt us a lot at Syracuse when I was coaching there. It's a good defensive technique.
And some pretty good company there in terms of Pitt's all-time tacklers. 6-yard loss on that play. Druckenmiller operates out of the shotgun downfield. He's got Jermaine Holmes. Holmes open field. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. No flags on the play. A 73-yard score. Hokies have taken the lead for the first time this afternoon.
From a play action to a play action. Here's the replay of it right now. Just nobody in the middle of the football play. It's very obvious we're trying to get some help in the middle for him, but it didn't happen.
Wide open, Jermaine Holmes. Wow. Larsen on for the extra point. And he's got it.
Big extra point. Now puts it beyond the field goal. University of Pittsburgh has got to find a way to get in the end zone on this drive.
Virginia Tech did not score in the first half. They were trailing 9-0. Well, they've taken their first lead of the game. Still plenty of time. Little under 11 minutes remaining in the fourth. Hokies lead it 20-16. Catches a 73-yard touchdown pass. Jim Druckenmiller's second TD pass of the year.
Now watch what happens right after the throw. He knows he's going to hit. and we get a great hit on him, but he doesn't care about the hit. He's just excited about the catch, and we've got a great thing going from that standpoint.
The senior from St. Petersburg in the end zone.
And Mike Halpin is the guy that's made some big plays on the Pitt defense, and he made it right there again. Look how he gets up.
He's 6'4", 222. From Northampton, Pennsylvania, Jim Druckenmiller.
10:42. Don't celebrate yet, Jim. Don't celebrate yet. We got 10:42 to go. Let's play football.
Spoken like a former coach. But they have 3 unanswered scores, 2 field goals, and a touchdown. And they've scored all 20 of their points in the second half. Larsen to kick off. Another beautiful kick. Butler better not run this one out. So Pitt will take over at their own 20. Back to our Big East studios, John Sanders.
We go from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Greenville, North Carolina. West Virginia trying to battle their way back. J.T. Thomas decks Marcus Crandall in the end zone for a safety. That's a 3-point game now, 20-17. East Carolina leads West Virginia. Let's go back to Pittsburgh, men.
Be a great road win if West Virginia could pull that one out.
Well, Donnie Nealon is bringing his team back like he did against Purdue early in the year. When you're playing for a Donnie Nealon coach team, don't ever set on it because he'll come after you, and he does again today.
1st and 10 for Pitt. 4 wide receivers on first down. Ryan fires, incomplete, intended for Butler. Larry Green with some good coverage. For Tech, well, 73 of the 80 yards came on the one play.
Yes.
That makes it a little easier.
They strike. They'll strike you. And just, you know, one of the things that we should mention, what a great throw. It was somebody that was open. He hit still wide open last week. Now he hits the guys. That's a great credit to the quarterback. He doesn't miss it.
Ryan has thrown 5 straight incomplete passes. Under pressure again. Fires complete. Just shy of the first down.
I think they're going to give it to him. He got the first down the way they're marking it.
Sadiq Durham paid for that reception. And they will have the first down.
I think one of the things that we've got to talk about with the incompletes as far as John Ryan is concerned, he's taught to throw it away. He isn't getting any sacks. So I think the incomplete statistic is not a valid one when you're talking about John Ryan throwing the football. He can hit people as he did just then for the first down.
He had the problem with the interceptions, but he has certainly adjusted very well. Another first down.
I think you get the message pretty well from John Majors.
Patton has absolutely nowhere to go. Cornell Brown brings him down, maybe even a loss of a yard on the play.
Have you noticed the difference in the defense, how they're attacking again? Virginia Tech is playing like they did against Miami. In the first half, we just didn't see that.
Virginia Tech defense comes alive in the second half. Through their first 3 games, they've allowed 6 total points in the second half through 3 games.
Yeah, there was about 6 guys around that tackle right there, and a good hit besides.
And they've allowed 7 here in the second half. The Pitt, almost a bad snap. Ryan handles it, throws, incomplete. Keith Jackson couldn't hold on.
Well, I'll tell you the reason why Keith Jackson, Hank Coleman was going to visit with him right there, and he thought he'd get rid of it. And I think Hank backed off the thing, but John Ryan was forced to throw that thing early, and couldn't make the adjustment on the outside hook by the inside receiver.
3rd and 10. There's a good contingent of Virginia Tech fans present here at Pitt Stadium. They're making a lot of noise right now. They want a big defensive stop.
I think they're going to be supported. The way they play, they deserve support.
Ryan on the move. Incomplete. Curtis Martin was covered. Right now, let's go back to John Sanders in our Big East studio for the latest out East Lansing.
And the Spartans trying to take the lead here, Mike. Watch Scott Green wiggle, squirm, lean, dive into the end zone for the touchdown. They tried for the 2-point conversion. It was no good, but Michigan State has come back. They lead it 22-21 in the 4th. Let's go back to the 4th at Pitt.
Still plenty of time in that wild game. We've got plenty of time in this one. Over 9 minutes remaining.
There's a little bit more to a punt today than there is normally.
Nate Cochran.
You'll see this getting off fast. You're going to see about a 35-yard punt unless he really hits it high and out.
He's had 2 blocked, both by Angelo Harrison. And this one a beauty. Ryan Still lets it bounce. And Anderson downs it at the 1.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. He was in the end zone. They're going to make another bad call here. His feet were in the end zone.
Cochran with a 69-yard punt. And here's Anderson closing in.
I don't know if the ball does, but I think he's put his feet. See, his feet's in the end zone. He's right on the line. That ball should come out to the 20.
Just outside the goal line.
Oh.
It appeared his heels were on the goal line.
Yeah. That's 2 bad calls by the officials down at this end of the football field that have really hurt Virginia Tech from a field position standpoint. They worked their way out of the other one. I'm not sure they can this one. They've got to be more alert on those teams. These are crucial to a football team. You can't do that to them.
You can't have worse field position either. Crowd getting loud. Druckenmiller with a sneak. Really goes nowhere. Tough situation right now for Virginia Tech.
There's no place harder to move the football offensively is down there on the 1-inch line is what we just had.
So let's give some credit to Cochran. He had 2 blocked. You know he's a little jittery back there, but he came through big.
Well, it's actually a very low trajectory thing. Brian still should have made the effort for it. It came right at him. If he makes the catch, the ball's up here where it belongs. So there's a lot of problems here. And I think you got to give the kid credit for getting it off. That's what I'm happy about.
Because that's not a given this afternoon.
That's right.
It's not a given against Virginia Tech. 2nd and 10. Druckenmiller in the shotgun. Fires, complete. Cornelius White. No, they say incomplete. They wave it off. White doesn't say anything, so apparently it hit it. Anthony Dorsett in on the coverage.
I'm sure that those are big possession receivers. We've got to have them. You got to give the credit to the poise of Jim Druckenmiller to make sure he gets the ball in there. 3rd down play. Now, this is the advantage of being at home. If you get the fans into the game, the score is 20-16. Big, big play.
There's Druckenmiller's numbers. The interception came in the first half. A touchdown in the second half. He's got a 3rd and 10.
Field goal feature.
He's going to throw again. Fires downfield for Brian Still. He's got it. It's a foot race. And still taken down by Dorsett, but not before a huge gain. What a pass from Druckenmiller.
Just a great throw. Wonderful on it. And what about an effort by Dorsett after he lets a guy get going?
84-yard pickup.
Now, watch the great, he puts the football up in the air where a great athlete like Brian can go get it. He makes the catch this week. Now look at the effort by Dorsett. Keep coming, don't give up. Keep him out of the end zone. Great big dive, and that's exactly what happens.
And Druckenmiller with a beautiful toss under adverse conditions.
Listen, he's got to be related. Look at him. He looks just like Jim Kelly. He's got to be related to him, both Pennsylvania kids.
1st and 10. Thomas on the pitch. Cuts back inside. Strong run. As he gets down past the 10, about the 7-yard line.
Now,
John McCray on the tackle.
Now the Pitt people have got to get back into it. We've got to make sure that they keep him out of the end zone right now. This is when it's the Virginia Tech team is all fired up offensively. They've made big play after big play here in the second half. And how about Brian Still? Was that a great catch? Great pitch, great catch.
27 yards a catch, although certainly the 86-yarder makes a difference. 84-yarder, 2nd and 2. Thomas hit behind the line of scrimmage and quickly brought down. Tyler Young on the tackle.
Now, you saw that Frank is going for the, he's going to, went on 2nd down and short. He went to a tight goal line offense, trying to make sure he can just pound it in, use up the clock. It's a big series, big play right here because he's got to take the field goal on 3rd down if he doesn't get it because he can still come back and beat him.
So a 3rd and 4 on that loss.
Awful pressure on the kicker, though.
3 setbacks. That's Parker in motion. Play fake. Druckenmiller fires incomplete. Threw it high. He was rushed. Brian Edmonds, the intended receiver.
I'm not sure that he wasn't just throwing it away, so he make sure we had the chance for the field goal. I think again now Larsen is becoming a big factor in this football game.
That's a big stop.
You saw the goal line offense. You saw the play action, bootleg. But again, we're talking about the great linebacker coming in and putting the pressure on him. Big guys make big plays. To motivate a big play.
Larsen 2 for 2 today. And after struggling last week, he's perfect this afternoon.
Virginia Tech extends its lead.
So Larsen, 26-yard field goal, gives the Hokies a 7-point lead. 23-16, Virginia Tech in front. 6:19 to play here in the 4th. Pittsburgh hoping to come back. Virginia Tech was trailing 16-7 early in the 3rd quarter, but have bounced back and now lead at 23-16.
They're kicking off to Pitt. The big decision that Pitt's got to make now, do we go for 1 if we score to take the tie in conference play, or do we go for 2? And one of the things that we talked about before, it's a problem. They're down to 1 timeout, which is really going to hurt them in a close game if they do. Which, if it would have been score early, then they could have possibly taken the tie and then have a chance to go time. But the advantage now is with the Hokies all the way. In order for them to win this game, it looks like John Majors is going to have to go for 2, but conference lets him out with a tie.
Larsen on the kick. He has really sent Butler back. Terrific job on the kickoffs from Larsen here in the 2nd half. Butler no shot at a return. And Pittsburgh will take over at their own 20 once again.
I think you'll find that Larsen will become a much different kicker, like Frank Beamer, who had absolute faith in him, what he's going to become.
Well, he told him, you had your bad game. You've had your worst game of your career. That was last year or last week against Miami when he was right. 6.
He was right. He did.
And he's come up big, 3 for 3, all here in the 2nd half.
6:19 to go. Exciting game.
Tough to score on the Hokies in the 2nd half.
Amazing statistic.
Well, Pittsburgh did have a touchdown in the 3rd. Ryan hit as he throws it. Let's see if they call it a catch.
Yes, it is a catch.
Beautiful reception.
Now you're going to see a different John Ryan playing football here. This is a drive. He can't be throwing away the ball anymore. He's got to stay in there and make the hits, take the hits and do it.
Curtis Anderson makes a beautiful catch for the first down.
Plus he drove him off. Excellent play all the way. Drove his defender off, then came back for the football. John Ryan's going to have a different rhythm. He's going to have to stay in there. You're going to see a little bit more protection problems in this drive because he's got to make the plays. He can't throw away the ball.
They're playing without Billy West, their top running back, and Dietrich Gels, both with ankle injuries earlier. Also, Demetrius Harris with an ankle injury.
All big plays.
Druckenmiller to Pat, reverse to Butler. Good pursuit from Virginia Tech and a loss on the play. Lauren Johnson among those in on the stop. There's Gels, one of the best receivers, certainly not only in the Big East, but in the nation, off to a great start, but twisted the ankle.
Number 12, Lauren Johnson making the tackle.
Those are things that the momentum changed as you saw these young men having to be taken out of the football game.
And another injury is Butler is down. And it's all their marquee guys. Last week, of course, their offensive line, 2 starters went down with knee injuries against Ohio State.
You know, you're seeing deep reverses run off a counteraction. I think they've got to be a little bit more delayed in their wide reverses like that. It's fine for an inside counter, but when you're doing that, it gives them too much of a chance to react, especially into the narrow side of the football field.
5:52 remaining, 4th quarter. Virginia Tech 16 unanswered points here in the 2nd half. They lead at 23-16.
The guy that's going to win the ball game for the Pitt Panthers is number 14, the quarterback. He's got to stay in the pocket. He's got to deliver it, move the football down the field, and then the ultimate decision they're going to make, do we go for tie, do we go for win?
We have an update on the West Virginia-East Carolina game. Let's go back to our Big East studios. John Sanders.
Like you were talking about unanswered points, how about the Mountaineers now on 4th and 6? Eric Boykin is the quarterback, steps up in the pocket, finds Tony Alexander that kept the drive alive, set up a Brian Bauman 32-yard field goal. West Virginia 17 unanswered, and they have tied that game at 20-20. Back to Pittsburgh.
A lot of games this afternoon are very tough on head coaches, Dick McPherson.
Well, it's just Mike, how about take another look and see what happened as far as the reverse is concerned. See what happened on the injury situation.
Mark Butler, and that's Price chasing him.
Yep.
And Lauren Johnson, the freshman, brings him down. It's hard to see there.
Yeah. Must be a turned ankle or something along that line. The only thing I can think of is that's exactly what it is. There's a lot of people hitting him.
So Butler gets the ovation from the fans. He'll go down. Again, Dietrich Gels, their leading receiver, is down, as is Billy West, Demetrius Harris, their top 2 running backs. Denoris Mosley, also one of their premier quarterbacks, out. So Johnny Majors have had to deal with quite a number of injuries this afternoon.
Here's an I formation football play.
Second down and 12. Play action again from Ryan. Fires downfield. Intercepted Larry Green. Intended for Anderson. Larry Green right there. Fell out of bounds after he got the pick. Once again, under pressure is Ryan.
Well, I also feel that the play action phase is there, but I think that Curtis Anderson could have come over a little bit more and make sure that if he doesn't get it, nobody does. It looks like he was a little confused there. Now, again, they're relentless in everything they do. They're coming after him. They're coming after him. Virginia Tech has just put a lot of pressure on. I have to blame the receiver a little bit there. You can't let those things just hang up in the air like that. You got to go after them.
They didn't have any interceptions the first 2 games. They had 2 last week against Miami and come up with 1.
Now it becomes a clock game. Now it becomes a clock game.
Druckenmiller, somebody misread the situation, and he's thrown down quickly. Mike Halpin.
It's very obvious who did. Jim Druckenmiller. They say he paid for it. But the key to it, the clock is running. He didn't try to make anything bad out of something bad, and kept the clock moving, and we're heading down to 5 minutes with 3 timeouts for them and only 1 for the Panthers. So if they keep the ball on the ground, they're playing the game that Frank Beamer and Virginia Tech like so much.
Panthers had to burn 2 early on in the 3rd quarter. Virginia Tech's had some excellent field position here in the second half.
Yep.
3 times they've started in Pitt territory.
And took advantage of it. That's the key. But block punts is what really has done it for them, I believe.
2nd and 13. And maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Moody in on the stop that time. Brian Edmonds on the carry. Next week, we've got a good one for you. Dick McPherson and I. Mike Breen will be along at Boston College as they'll host these Pittsburgh Panthers.
We'll be in Red Sox country.
That's
and I think they're in the playoffs. I'm not going to miss it, Mike. I'll tell you that. But
just make sure you're at BC on time the next day.
Right. Listen, 5:43 when they started this drive. They're now coming to the 3rd down. We're under 5. We're down into 4:20. They're eating up the clock just like they do. They got probably 1 more series to stop Pitt, and they can put this ball game away.
3rd and 11. Druckenmiller kicks it outside. Thomas has a little room in front of him. He's got the first down and more. Knocked out of bounds. Jay Jones, what a huge play.
Now watch the double tight end comes in. Power backs, eat up the clock. 4:05 to go.
That may be one of the biggest plays of the game, because that, with a 3rd and 11, that's a big pickup.
I think all the football purists out there have got to love the way that Virginia Tech plays. They play sound, they play solid. Other than that first couple of waves that Jim Druckenmiller made, they're looking like a real solid football team that's in the game only for one reason: find a way to win. And you have to admire that in Frank Beamer and his staff.
So those numbers on Thomas, so dangerous out of the backfield.
There's your double tight end. You know they're not going to sit here in a shotgun. Just clock eating time. Again, this series, 1st down series, starts with 4:05 to go.
Nowhere to go that time for Dwayne Thomas.
Get up slow, eat up the clock. We're in under 4 minutes now into the 3:50 area.
Tumulty with another tackle.
Now, This is not a concern. This is exactly what they want to do. Take a look at the huddle clock. There's 18 seconds left to go. See how much Jim uses all the way down, because the clock is running up above. And we're down to 12. Very, very cautious, very close. They're using up the clock. Very well coached. 8, 7, 6. They're not even going to make it. Looks like they're going to take a penalty here. Oh, they're taking it from a shotgun.
Get it off just in time. The throw to White, and he can't handle it. Incomplete.
Pass intended for number 4, Cornelius White, incomplete.
Frank Beamer certainly pleased with the second half.
He sure got out of my sequence, didn't he? With a double tight end.
Well, they both tried some daring play calling this afternoon, both Beamer and Johnny Majors.
Yeah, I thought that he was just going to run it down and go on home with it, you know, with the 20. I think he's concerned. If he had some more points, I think he's concerned about the 7 or the 8 point here. He's trying to get some more on the thing.
3rd and 11.
Now they've got to get themselves in a little bit more solid field goal range.
3:18 remaining. Kicks it inside. And short of the first down.
But excellent for field goal range.
John Jenkins in on the stop. Edmonds on the carry. And they're going to measure this one. No, it is short. Pittsburgh has taken their final timeout. So with 3:06 remaining, Panthers take their last time out. They trail 23-16.
I think 2 things that are happening here. Number 1, they want to make sure they get a good field goal rush on. And number 2, they want to stop the clock so they have plenty of time to go upfield and go for the 2 points to win the thing, or go for the tie, whatever a conference rule is that John Majors, his staff, has decided. And neither one can be criticized.
Pittsburgh, after today, a lot of road games, including 2 on the conference next couple of weeks. At BC, the game we'll have for you, the Big East Network.
Yeah, but from a Pittsburgh standpoint, they've got Miami at home and Syracuse at home. I think that's one of the keys that they were looking for. That's why this win is so important for them today.
Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, at a conference couple of games, and still have some big road games in Rutgers, West Virginia.
I think that they've got a couple of weeks to get well if they get by this game with Navy and Akron. And I think that, you know, that's not up to Big East caliber right now, and they can rest up for the rest of the tough Big East schedule they've got coming.
Atle Larsen, this is a 37-yard attempt. He's 3 for 3 today. There you see the distance that he's made. So this would be his longest attempt of the afternoon.
Yeah, but you got to be able to make these kicks from that hash mark with the goalposts that you have in college football.
36-yarder, they're calling it. And Larsen, big penalty flag on the play. See Dorsett shaking up a little bit as he ran into Larsen. So it's going to go against Pittsburgh. And Virginia Tech with a big, big field goal from Larsen, who's come up in a huge way.
I think we want to take a look at it.
On the defense. We'll penalize on the kickoff.
26-16, now a 10-point lead for Frank Beamer's Hokies. Dorsett comes into Larsen. Larsen a little acting after the hit.
Well,
but more importantly, he hits the field goal.
You know, the referee's got to be right on top of that thing, right in the face of it, to make sure that it wasn't overacting on the thing. There was a little bit of a touch there, but it wasn't exactly what I thought happened. I don't think he was hurt too much.
So a 10-point lead for Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. Not only are they trailing by 10 with just a little over 3 minutes remaining, but they have no timeouts remaining.
You know, those timeouts are so important. You can't take them out to discuss one football play with the quarterback, because it's changing the whole complex of the game. Right now, they can allow them to score, go for 2, and then run the clock out and be in good shape. The only thing they have to be concerned about is a quick score and the onside kick. And I think that's what they've got to be concerned about. Right now, they've got no concern at all. Just make sure they get the football down and play good defense.
Virginia Tech, 7 possessions in the second half. They've scored 6 times, including the last 5 in a row. Larsen with 4 field goals.
I think the thing that's key about it, again, we're always talking about field position. Take a look at where the ball started each time they had it in the second half, because Pitt had that in the first half, but all they came up with was 9 points out of it. what we're talking about again from Pitt, the Virginia Tech in the second half started on the Pitt 30, their own 37, their own 33, the Pitt 20, their own 20, own 1. That's the big play in the ball game when they come out with the 1 yard.
Butler's got to run it out. They need some field position. There's a little room outside. Taking down Lauren Johnson, who's had a big afternoon. Makes the tackle well short of the 20. And that roughing the kicker penalty comes back to haunt them a little bit in terms of field position. 2:55 remaining. Here in the fourth quarter. Panthers have a lot of work to do. They need 2 scores. There's the Tech scoring drive.
Okay, John Ryan, get him down the football field. Get your wide outs here. Move them down there fast. Remember, in college ball, the clock stops every time for a first down. Plenty of time. Then onside kick and see what happens.
5 wide receivers. Ryan on first down. Fires downfield. Complete. Durham on the catch at the 38-yard line. Del Rico on the tackle. They've got to hurry things up.
Well, the clock is stopped while they move the chains. That's the advantage in college football. So we're down to 2:49, so in good shape from that standpoint. Get yourself lined up. See, they haven't even started the clock yet because of where it's... Oh, the official started a little bit sooner.
22-yard pickup on that play. Ryan again, under pressure, just flips it out. Incomplete. Butler, the intended receiver. But Ryan feeling the heat. J.C. Price putting on good pressure. Clock stops with 2:37 to go in the fourth. 10-point deficit for John Ryan and the Pitt Panthers.
Now the clock starts on the snap here because of the incomplete pass. 2:37 to go in the ball game.
Again, no setbacks. The 5 receivers under pressure. Ryan throws incomplete. Myron Newsom on the coverage. I don't know if he saw the pass coming, but
he doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. There's no such thing as face guard. He's doing his job, making the guy throw the ball over the top from where they can react to it. John Ryan had no place to throw the football there.
And Durham
excellent coverage by number 55, Myron Newsom. And it's amazing to see him rush the pass and then turn around and run down the football field like that. What an athlete.
There, Ryan threw the 1 interception. That's their 1 turnover, but they've had 2 punts blocked. They've had 8 penalties, hurt themselves at times. 3rd and 10. Ryan knocked down Waverly Jackson with another strong defensive play for the Virginia Tech defense.
Interesting defense there. They dropped off defensive lineman sitting right there in the middle, and John had no idea. He couldn't see him at all. I think that's a thing that we've got to make sure we talk about. Take a look at Waverly Jackson there. See, just dropping off, staying in the middle, just for that reason. A great call from a defensive standpoint by Virginia Tech. Big 4th down play. Ball game right here.
They've got to keep this alive. 4th and 10. Ryan fires downfield. Caught. Durham with an amazing catch. Yes. First down at the 37-yard line.
You know, I think that the Durham, watch the Durham kid again. What a great day he's had coming into this ball game.
Boy, what a
tremendous courage catch.
Newsom was right with him. 25-yard pickup, and Pitt's still alive.
John really thread the needle on that thing.
Ryan hit again. Pass incomplete.
Pass interference.
No flag. The crowd very upset. Johnny Majors upset as well. They thought there was contact.
Yeah, you got to make those calls. We got people downfield watching that thing on the number 2 receiver playing a man-to-man.
It looked like some contact there on Durham. Newsom right once again on the coverage. 2nd and 10. Ball at the Virginia Tech 37.
You know, it's amazing that Virginia Tech stays with all those linebackers inside there on a situation like this instead of putting in defensive backs to play these zones.
Ryan under pressure. Looks for the sideline. Incomplete. Intended once again for Durham. Newsom right there to deflect it out of bounds.
Durham incomplete.
You know, after the sacks we've seen him make, the pass rushes, the tackles, and now he's playing, you know, just no give up. I will not be denied. I'm going to find a way to get to that football. By the same token, Durham is right there ready to receive it. A great throw by John Ryan, actually.
Newsome, the junior out of Hampton, Virginia. He's come up big the last 2 weeks against Miami. Has made some big plays here in the second half versus Pitt.
And rewarded by Frank Beamer with a start today from last week's performance.
3rd and 10. 2:02 remaining, fourth quarter. Pitt trailing by 10. They are out of timeouts. Ryan incomplete. Durham once again the intended receiver. Newsome, who's his shadow, right behind him. Durham's exhausted.
Yes, he's exhausted. Plus, he just got shielded out from the inside by Newsome. He took a hit. You notice he was coming back off balance right there.
Ryan has now thrown 40 passes, and that's what happens when you have to play catch-up.
And that's what happens to a Pitt football team with all the injuries they've had today. So Newsome can't get a break because he certainly has played an outstanding game today.
Dietrich Jells, Billy West, Demetrius Harris, all going down with injuries in the second half and not returning. Ryan fumbles it, looks for the sideline, and again, Durham the intended receiver, but he had to just throw that one away. A 4th and 10 coming up. Or check that was it. So change of possessions. Virginia Tech will take over.
4th down, 1:53 to go. I think you'll find them just eating the clock up. It's an amazing comeback again. Off the deck, 0-2 to beat Miami. Down 9-0 away at Pitt. Big East first conference game for Pitt. And come up with a tremendous win here this afternoon.
What do you think the odds of Druckenmiller throwing a pass here?
I think if he does, John Majors will get mad at him. Unless it's intercepted. But there'll be no foul language.
1st and 10. Just under 2 minutes remaining. They kick it outside. Thomas gets up near the 40-yard line. Philip Clark on the tackle.
One of the most enjoyable things from a coaching standpoint is to sit on the sidelines and just look at the clock with 3 timeouts. The most terrible thing is what John Majors is going through now. There's nothing he can do. Just the clock is just going to run out, and there's nothing he can do to stop this thing. And Virginia Tech is going away with a great win, great second half. And you've got to applaud the tremendous effort by the Pittsburgh Panthers and how they're playing this game here today. Very impressive.
Druckenmiller to Brian Edmonds. Edmonds backs his way in near the 1st down. The clock continues to run. Miles Davis on the stop. So Druckenmiller
now
back-to-back wins.
I'm surprised that that Jim Druckenmiller is just not hanging on the football himself, just going forward or kneeling down, because that's all they need. Just plow it ahead and do whatever you have to do, because we don't want to give them any life at all.
There's your time remaining in the game. Virginia Tech with a football, 10-point lead. Thomas has the 1st down. So it puts an exclamation point on this one. Check that, Brian Edmonds.
Yeah, Brian, under 25 seconds.
And a big road win this afternoon for the Virginia Tech Hokies. They were down 9-0 at halftime. Scored at one point 16 unanswered points.
Yep.
4 field goals and a touchdown in the second half. And came up big. Today's Ford player of the game, Angelo Harrison, the special teams player, blocked 2 punts in the second half, really turned the momentum of this
Wonderful call. He turned it around, absolutely.
And our Ford player of the game brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? There's one of Harrison's block. He had one last week against Miami. So 3 block punts in 2 games for Angelo Harrison, our Ford player of the game. Well, Virginia Tech, after the slow start, 0-2, the bounce back. They beat Miami last week at home and defeat Pittsburgh here at Pitt Stadium 26-16. For Dick McPherson and our entire crew, this is Mike Breen. Final score, Virginia Tech 26, Pittsburgh 16.